Next time you're found with your chin on the ground, a lot to be learned. So look around.
It's still Negro, homie.
So, for people that didn't know, because this is something that I literally just found out this, like maybe last week or this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Women's History Month.
You didn't know it was Women's History? You didn't know March was Women's History Month?
I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't.
Can't say that I'm surprised.
Hey, 3, did you know it was Women's History Month?
I did.
Like you always knew that?
Not always, but
But you know now.
yeah, I know.
Well, for everyone that did not know,
Oh shit!
this is Women's History Month. So I guess what do you say? Like happy birthday to Women's History? I don't know what do you say to that.
Just Women's History Month.
Okay,
Like,
and in
Happy Women's History Month.
Happy Women's History Month.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And in honor of Women's History Month,
Oh god.
I have I want to give y'all some information and some stories for women's history. Okay, so I was Googling and I found I think this happened in the year 2000.
I don't even think I want to hear what you're about to say.
No, we're gonna pay homage. This is what we do. You know, we're a very serious organization here, and we're
cut
gonna,
my mic off.
we're gonna pay homage. So it was the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And there was we kind of talked about her before, Laura Moss, who married Michael Bennett.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So something I was doing
Oh,
research.
okay. I'm following you.
Okay.
Okay.
So Laura Moss, she was a single mother at this time, so she wasn't married to Mr. Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Single mother of 3, and she worked in the food industry. What?
Why she? Go ahead.
Why is she saying? I don't know why she was single. That's what Google told me. I think probably Wikipedia. But anyway, she was single mother of 3.
Wikipedia, but go ahead.
She worked in the food industry, right? She worked. She started off when she was working. She started off on cleanup, right?
Mhm.
At the time when this whole story happened, she was washing lettuce. She felt like if she would keep up with her job, her ambition, her drive, her motivation,
Mhm.
that she was looking to hopefully soon she'll be on fries. Then possibly,
Her goals are very low.
I mean, that's what she wanted though.
Okay.
But possibly, you know, with the proper recognition, she would hopefully end up being on the grill. And in all her planning, she knew that after a couple of years, 1 or 2 years, she'd make it to assistant manager.
Okay.
And that's where the big bucks start rolling in. Right?
She work at McDowell's. And stuff.
She had dreams and aspirations. Let this woman make it.
Fair enough.
So as she was working, trying to get to that promotion where she wanted,
Mm-hmm.
somehow monkey wrench was just thrown into her plans,
Mhm.
right? So she didn't get the promotion she wanted. She was working hard, just stressed out.
Okay.
Underqualified male took the job from her. Some shitty shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So through all the stress and stuff she was going through, she wanted to just have a night out. So she was telling her friend about the situation. Her friend, Miss Chambers, right?
Mhm.
So Miss Chambers, she was like, you know, let's go out, let's go celebrate, let's go out. Let's go kick it.
Mhm.
So they went to, I think they went out to get some drinks,
Okay.
and then they're in Philadelphia at this time.
Okay.
So they had an idea to go to a dice game.
This escalated quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just want to hang out, right?
Okay.
So in the dice game, they're hanging on the dice game, shooting the shit, drinking. Then, as you know, most dice games happen, shit broke out.
Right.
As shit broke out, police started coming. At this time, Miss Chambers and Miss Moss shot out the door, right?
Okay.
Now, no one knew that on this day, that a moment in women's history would be created. All right.
Okay.
This was a very pivotal moment in women's history.
Okay.
So as they're shooting out of the door, Miss Moss tripped, and Miss Chambers, you know, saw her. She tripped,
Mhm.
and she was She fell down the stairs. Boom. She was like, ah, my neck. Ah, my back. Oh, my pussy. Ah, my crack. This was the day Kaya Miss Chambers was there.
Shut your ass up.
And this is where that song came from.
Is that where that came from?
A true moment in women's history. Thank you, Miss Moss, for falling down the stairs, because you gave us a hit that came a year later in 2001.
What's wrong with you?
What? I just want to give a shout out to women's history for everything that y'all have been through and all of this y'all's life's work. Thank you, Miss Moss.
Well, that's what it all boils down to, huh?
Thank you, Mrs.
All
Moss.
the barriers we broke, all the children we've raised, and the families we've anchored, and we get
My neck.
my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. That's what we get.
Very pivotal. 2001. That was like yeah.
Very interesting.
I was gonna tell the story about WAP, but
You can't tell the story about why.
but I didn't. I didn't. No, we're gonna call KK. So as everyone that is watching us, you can see that it is just two on the stream. Mr. Kelvin KK, he is not here right now. He is in Dallas. We're gonna call him in. I don't know, because we want.
Damn, he's gonna tell all his business. What if he wasn't supposed to be in Dallas?
I'm seeing he's over in Dallas.
You making it hot. I'm just playing.
He's in Dallas,
He's
Iowa.
working, right?
Yeah, he's in Dallas, Iowa, is where he's at.
Iowa. That's funny.
Yeah, he's in Dallas, Iowa. So what's going on, KK?
What's up? What's up, man?
Not much. You up? You awake now, man?
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. His connection is kind of low. Damn, KK. Anyway, we'll try to get him on in a second. So this is Socially Responsible Podcast, episode, what is that, 53? I am Damien, aka Mavriq, aka the Devil's Advocate.
And I'm Tina, aka Tina Cuz, aka Steph Curvy, aka Khaki Chrissy, aka Stud Web, aka Tina Turn Her Out.
Hey.
And that's all you get. We're gonna try to get KK's AKAs in a little bit. We're gonna have some difficulties so we can see if he can hear us. You hear him over there? Throw it back to me.
Let's get this man KK on.
Kelvin,
there.
can you hear us?
Not Kelvin.
What up?
You hear us now, man?
Yeah, I hear you now. What's
Okay.
going on?
All right,
Okay,
man. What's going
bet.
introduce yourself? I didn't say the name 8 times. Introduce yourself real quick for everybody listening in.
It is your boy KK, aka I don't. What's something great value did?
Yes,
You know your
sir.
name.
AKA San Antonio to Dallas, back to San Antonio, back to Dallas. Now I don't know what.
We'll take it.
Yeah, what's up with y'all?
Oh man, we
Nothing
doing good,
much.
man. How's it out there, man?
It's cool. Work was work, but Dallas is Dallas. So we just out here. We ate at some family house today, and we back at my daughter's house.
Okay. Well, hope you're enjoying yourself out there. We're gonna let Tina give the call to action real quick. Tina, go ahead on and shoot that out for him.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, y'all. So you're probably watching on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure that you are liking, commenting, and subscribing on YouTube for sure. Make sure you hit them likes if you're watching on Facebook. Hit us with the hearts real quick. In addition to watching us on Saturdays, please make sure that you are downloading and streaming the podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Podbean, and Anchor. No? Are we
No,
on
not Anchor. Podbean,
Not Anchor. I made that
iHeart.
up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. So Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and Podbean. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing there too. We need to interact with everybody. So Facebook, YouTube, or you can just go to our Instagram, because we got one of those too, and our link tree is in our bio there. So you click there, it'll take you to everything we got.
And that is where we're at. So make sure y'all do subscribe. Hit the like button if you can. Hit that thing for us a couple times so you can see a bunch of buttons, as KK always say. Let that boy pop up. Let him know, KK.
Hit us with the hearts.
Like some heart buttons. It's gonna be a few angry buttons at times. Push it. Just push it.
Do that for us. We appreciate it. And for today's lineup, let's see what we got for 'em. So I had a question that was going on about how do you say that word?
Toxicity.
Toxicity. Say that shit 10 times fast.
Toxicity. How many is that?
I don't know. That's good.
Yeah, 2 more.
That's a lot.
Toxicity.
You
You're
got-
welcome.
Still can't say it.
You fake.
I
I can't say it either though.
I can't. Not that many times. I could barely say it once right. But we're gonna talk about toxicity because I'm just curious about it. Because everyone talks about toxic men and toxic femininity or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't know what toxic is because I'm really not a toxic individual. I'm like perfect almost. So I guess we're gonna discuss what being toxic
I hope y'all
is.
saw the way I just turned and looked at this man when he said that.
I'm happy y'all can't see me over here. My thing.
And then we're gonna talk about I guess the Gen Z trying to silence Marshall Mathers. We're also going to talk about
Shut him up.
we're going to talk about the slave letter. We're also going
Oh
to
my
talk
God.
about we have some relationship topics as also. We have an irresponsibly yours that was actually from last week, but we're going to
Mhm.
bring it to this week since we didn't talk about it last week.
Mhm.
And then we have our 8th day. Earlier this week, I asked a question of the day and Tina kind of shunned me on it. And the question of the day was, do you feel awkward listening to sexual love songs by gay male artists? So we're going to address that
That's
at the
so
end.
specific.
It is very specific.
Why did it have to be gay male artists? Why couldn't it just be a gay artist in general?
I don't think I'd mind listening to 2 women talking about eating.
So this is
vaginas.
only about you. I thought this was a question for other people.
Most men. KK, would you mind listening to 2 women talking about
But
eating each other's vaginas?
You don't get to
Probably not.
you don't get to decide what the question is if that's not what it was initially because it better fits you.
That was the initial question.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Was it male?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It was male.
Yeah.
That's
You-
stupid. My energy doesn't change. That's just still dumb.
Yeah, no, I mean it's male gayness, I believe, is looked upon differently than women gayness. If we
That's a fact.
yeah, I mean we can
It's a fact for y'all because y'all are men.
okay, am I supposed to speak as a woman?
No, you're not, but you're making a very broad statement based on only your perception.
I think that's a lot of people's perception though. Okay?
A lot of men's perception, I'm sure.
Tina. Liana said,
I
you
can't
know
say anything.
Damien's selfish.
Yeah, girl, just selfish. It
Do
don't
you-
make no sense.
Do y'all not think that male gayness is different than 2 women's gayness? Like, are they really looked upon the same? Anybody, y'all listening, tuning in? I'm just curious. I don't know, and I'm not selfish. I'm just selfish.
Just as a gay person, like I know.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, so I mean, and even to pay homage to women again, because I'm
Mhm.
not selfish. I want to give shout outs to everybody that I know, love, and talk about.
Sure you do. No, I'm just kidding.
We have Lizzo here on
Oh
the
my
wall.
God.
If you haven't seen it, this is going to honor our Women's
I
History
hate it
Month.
here.
I bought a picture and we have Lizzo that's gonna sit up her with us and take up a pretty good size of this wall for the
Damien.
next month.
Don't start.
Sorry.
The views
sorry,
of Damian
sorry.
Chandler do not
Sorry.
reflect the views of the socially
Thank
responsible podcast as a whole.
She just
You might like low key like big girls, man.
I think he does too.
Yes.
I probably do.
As boozy, you keep talking about gays. Are you gay?
Exactly. You know, you always tell a lot of stories about the homosexuals and you always talking about the homosexual. I just gotta know, since you pay so much attention to the homosexuals, are you a homosexual?
So I'm boozy now.
Or maybe you
know.
just think Lizzo cute, man.
I do. Well, that's why I'm gonna have her sitting over my shoulder for the next month.
All right. I'm done with you.
Anyway, so sorry, I apologize, Lizzo. She means a lot to me. She's a big part of my. How's your week, Hey3?
My week was tragic.
Okay,
I had a lot of stuff going on this week.
like a lot. Well, you had rollover from storm, right?
Yeah, I had a shitty week, literally.
Okay.
So
Do tell.
toilet shitty. Okay, I
Toilet
get it.
shitty.
I get it.
Expand on that.
No,
Boo-boo
no,
Oh my God, KK.
no.
Literally.
Drop the knowledge on us.
I I had some busted pipes still, that we were figuring out from the storms.
Mhm.
And it was a sewer line that busted. So literally a shitty week.
Me and KK understand. We sit here and bust pipes too.
No, we don't.
Oh,
This nigga KK.
I forgot.
Oh,
KK said, "No, we don't."
My fault, K.
yeah, pipe is a pole.
Oh my god.
So did you get everything fixed out there for you, man?
No.
Still work. I know we were trying to find a certain size. Did y'all figure that out?
Yes.
Is
And
that
I was
size
right.
exists? That
Yes,
exists?
it exists.
That's crazy.
It's hard to find, but yes, it exists.
Did y'all find it to get it fixed?
That one, yes.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay. And just other ones. I guess you had one under the thing. Well, I guess y'all will get that fixed, hopefully. So y'all get that shit taken care of. Talk your shit, Tina. How's your week?
I don't know.
You did-
It was a normal week, work and whatnot. What did we talk about? What did we talk about this week, Damien?
She wanted to talk about. Oh yeah. So speaking of lesbians and gays, Tina thinks that Tina believes.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
You ready for this, K?
Yeah.
So I'm really under the impression that Damien and KK, to a certain degree, think that I live my entire life with the sex toy strapped to my body, and that is not. That's not really the case.
I just asked if you go to clubs with it.
Nigga, no, for what?
I think she goes to the bathroom and pisses with it, to be completely honest with you.
I'm really.
She pulls it out, stands up, and just pisses like a nigga. That's how I think it happens. No.
Well, first of all, it's really a lot easier to sit down and pee. Like, let's just start right there.
KK pissed sitting down when he had COVID. I remember.
Exactly. I'm just saying it takes a lot less effort. You just sit down and then you let it go. I don't have to aim. I can just sit down. So no, I'm not trying to stand up and pee. It's a lot more efficient the way that I do it now. Thanks,
Okay.
Thanks so much. A sex toy is just for sex, for sexy time, for grown-up time. That's it. I don't use it for anything else.
You don't like bring it to the
I don't
dinner
even
table?
need it every time I have sexy time.
No. You don't like use it like the dick is talking, woman. Behave. You know, nothing like that.
Why do you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Dick is talking here. Be quiet. Pay attention.
Gross.
KK.
Gross.
I don't think I've ever said my dick talking, but yeah, I talk with it though at times.
Yeah. Dick drives his car. You sit over there and be quiet.
Okay. If that makes you feel better, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, but I don't think you got it on 24/7, but
let's say in a week, I probably had it on a total of an hour.
You don't always
but
keep.
you got one for then.
Yeah, US is a lot of waste. That's a big investment just not to have it on. You don't have it in like a bag, like just in case of emergency, crack open case. You don't have it with you on your person, just like.
I don't.
So if it's not with you, it's just not with you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a waste of $85.46.
How do you know how much it costs?
Google.
I will neither deny nor confirm that is how much it costs. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but that's not how I live my life.
Well,
I'm a lady. Like, I'm really a lady.
I posted something on my page, so y'all check that out if you get a chance. Just FYI.
That's funny. That's funny.
How's your talk your shit, K? How's your week?
My week was cool, man. A lot of work this week, so it's gonna be a lot of work next week. So I'll be saying the same thing next week. No complaints on my end.
Okay. Well, it's a different work for you because you actually out of town, so you have to do extra driving just to get to work, and then you're gonna be yeah. And then hopefully, if everything goes well with what we were talking about, we may have some big news for everybody listening.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works. My week, Damien.
You wouldn't let us get it out.
My man. Oh, my fault. K-ass. Cool. My week was dope, K. I've realized a couple of things. All right. So, speaking of strap-on dildos and vaginas,
No, nobody said any of those things.
I just did. No.
Go ahead.
So I was looking. We're talking about on the State of the Union about porn.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then we're talking about like categories and different things. I
Right.
think the way they portray Black women in porns is weird to me.
It's racist.
Because I don't have you noticed in go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of think it's low key. Not low key, nigga. It's racist because they fall into all of the stereotypes that people could negative stereotypes that anyone could ever come up with for a Black woman.
But it's like Black people directing some of these porns. Because you'll have like the white porns of like, oh, daddy.
You know, that's not what it sounds like. That's not what it sounds like. That's terrible.
Come on my mouth, like stuff like that, right?
Whoa!
And then in Black porns,
But I can't say fuck them. That's crazy.
and in Black
That's
porns,
crazy.
they're like, "Give me that dick, boy. You ain't doing shit. Roll over. You ain't." It's like, woman, like,
What are you watching? What are you watching?
have y'all never seen? No.
No.
What?
First of all, your imitations of porn are terrible.
I told you I watched the actual story so I could react some scenes. I could go over some
This nigga
lines.
got lines.
Do you practice the lines?
If it's a good one.
He be in the shower. Your pizza's here. Head ass. Nigga, stop it.
And they be knocking on people's doors. The delivery is here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, David.
What?
See?
My
Your
porn
porn
voice.
star voice is trash. I just said that. That shit is garbage.
I don't have a male. I have a male porn voice. It's not like my girl. Like I'm not used to getting fucked, Jason. So my porn voice is very trash. I agree, but no, like I mean, come on now, y'all have never seen the porn. Then it's like I was watching it, and like the white women, they're like so like they're whatever they're not angelic, but it's just a different style.
Mhm.
The Black woman be talking shit to these dudes.
That shit's
be fucking.
annoying either way.
But you know what I mean? It's like
Workers be like, oh yeah.
you don't like that.
Nigga, no. I wanted to keep doing it, but I couldn't keep it going.
Is that what
shit
you
is
sound
funny.
like?
No, that's not what I sound like. But that's what they sound like on those videos.
We should post something, right? And we should have a voicemail. We're gonna open up our voicemail. I want people to call in and give us what y'all think Tina sounds like. Hey, take this dick, bitch.
Not even close.
I think you and your friend watched the same porn.
Why? Wesley
Shut up, KK. You done left a little bit too long for me, buddy.
How she sound, Davey?
Take this dick, bitch.
My voice is never that deep. What is wrong with
She
you?
been at there stroking. You like this? You like this dick? She be fucking. You like this pussy?
That's crazy.
That's funny.
I'm curious, and then we can combine that with
Damien, please.
Marie's for shizzle.
No, you cannot.
And we can see which one of y'all have the best sounding sex.
Do Marie say that when a nigga hit the front and back? Turn around, you like
shizzle.
this like shit.
I love the dizzle manizzle.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We should figure this out.
No, we shouldn't.
No problem.
You'll never find out.
Jason asked, does she pitch or catch D?
Wow, that's crazy. I live my life.
Play baseball.
I don't pitch or catch a damn thing.
Play baseball.
She plays.
Yeah,
baseball.
I don't play baseball. I was a hooper.
She's a hooper. She's hitting them threes. She's draining them from deep. No, that's not what you're doing. I'm not gonna say that. It's just curious. My knowledge on sex is very limited because I was sheltered growing up and I lived the Christian lifestyle. So I chose to not partake
Whoa, what?
in these efforts. So I'm living vicariously through your tactics, your lifestyle.
My lifestyle.
Yes.
That nigga
'cause-
said your tactics.
So
That's
Marie
crazy.
answered y'all.
What?
Ew. Why are you talking like that?
Speak it.
She said I sound like a nigga when I fuck.
Oh my god.
Run them draws, nigga.
Wow, Jason, that's a really shitty description.
What do you say?
And I'm almost offended. Let's just leave that where that's at.
What do you say?
What do you say? I guess he's trying to figure out.
There's no man. I like women, so there's 2 women. There's never a man. Thanks so much.
Yeah. I'm curious. It's just funny. It was funny to me about how women take it on the.
Yeah, it is. Because if I'm offended, then it's offensive, my guy.
What happened?
Because I said that was an offensive explanation. He said, no, it's not. How so? If I'm offended, then it's offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was.
That's how offense works.
Offense works, right? Feelings. But yeah, no. So we're gonna open up the voice line because I want to see Marie.
No, you'll never hear it. I swear to God.
Marie, I need you to let us know that the dizzle. You know how that dizzle is working.
Never. You would never find out.
Yeah, and then also Tina, I need y'all to call in and let us know the angelic tunes, soothing tunes of Tina.
Can't help you.
Tina K.
Can't help you there. You'll never find out. I just told you.
And then with that being said, I also realized that I guess if y'all haven't noticed, this is of course Mavriq, devil's advocate. I speak my raw thoughts a lot, and I guess I've heard that I should probably not. Do y'all sense any? Is there any truth to that, or are people lying about the stuff that I say? Is that no?
I don't think you're as much of an asshole as you would like to portray yourself to be.
You're like the second person that said that today, but it's
because you're a nice guy.
But it's like raw thoughts. Like if someone asks me a question, I'm gonna tell them what I think about something.
Yeah.
And don't hold me to it because they're just raw thoughts, uncensored.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I realized you can't do it because you say, hey, don't hold me to this, but this is how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, so that's how you feel. It's like, no, like I'm trying to figure, like, let's talk about it and figure this out. So I figure that's a bad thing. Even if someone says it's not a bad thing to give me your raw thoughts.
Ooh, time out.
What?
You know how you tell me I can't say fuck them because I need context. Kind of feel like that's the conversation that somebody's having with you, sir.
You think so?
Absolutely.
That's probably what it is. I need to have, but my context is, I'm not sure what I want to, like, I'm not sure about the thought process, but I'm going to tell you how I feel and then we can figure it out together. But I'm going to express how I feel. It's not always right. It's a raw thought. Okay.
What up?
Do you ever have issues like that? Like when you're talking and trying to express yourself to somebody and like it just comes out wrong, but it's because you haven't really had time to think. You're just
Everybody goes through that.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you hold people? Go ahead.
No, I don't hold nobody. Do I hold people what? Accountable for it?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
Like if someone is trying to express their feelings to you, and I'm wrong, so sometimes I say some wild shit, and it comes from just my thought process, not from my heart. And people are like, "Oh, so that's how I really think about shit?" Like, not really. I'm just trying to figure out my thought process and express to you my thoughts in words. Because I don't know if y'all realize this, but expressing your feelings in words is sometimes pretty fucking difficult.
Fair. Emotional intelligence is a really like important thing.
Yeah. And
being able to communicate those things properly is like important. Words mean things. I say that shit all the time. I think it's important to like be intentional when you say shit. And if you don't really have that shit formed all the way sometimes, just don't fucking say it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially if it's someone who like if you care about their feelings or their opinion or whatever, like maybe hold on to it until you really, really know what that thought or that feeling is.
That's probably what I should do. But I like to talk it out.
That's fair. Like I know what you mean.
Word.
Right. I know what you mean. I think it takes a certain type of person to be able to take that shit at face value.
Yeah. And I guess it's my fault also because my message sometimes doesn't come across as like I really
Is it like when you text?
Lizzo. Huh?
Is it like when you text?
I text how I talk. I don't know what you're gonna get. I text how I talk, and then Facebook is gonna. I don't Facebook, but Apple is gonna change my words
Yeah.
to shit that I don't want it to say. Ducking. Or instead of saying like I'll say tall and it changes to talk, or y'all and it's tall. Like it's just
Really?
weird. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that autocorrect before.
The biggest problem my iPhone I got is when I'm typing and I type in, it always type in for some reason.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck it do that, and then in the option at the bottom. What the fuck I was typing?
Yeah. So that's weird. And then I mean Jay says speak your mind, and I do speak my mind. And sometimes I don't want to sit here and make it seem like me speaking my mind is the problem, because I think people appreciate people who speaks their mind. I think the issue is as I speak my mind, my thoughts are so scattered and all over the place.
Mhm.
It just comes out shitty sometimes. And I don't really mean it to be shitty or offensive. But it just does sometimes. And I get where people come from when they say that.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Say you sorry to whoever you sorry to, nigga, all this beating around the bush shit.
No, it's not about I mean, first of all, I told you before, I don't say I'm sorry. I'll apologize for shit. But I can't.
What?
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
You don't say you're sorry, but you apologize.
I'll apologize. Like, I'm not sorry for what I do. I'll apologize for offending you or whatever, but I'm not sorry for my actions. I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna make mistakes.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? I'm not
following
perfect,
you.
but for
I was like, what kind of man speak shit is this? I got you.
it's my toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't think it's me in a sense, because I know I could say some off the wall stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm working on it and I'm gonna try to figure that out. So
Yeah.
we're gonna run through that and
Yeah.
get that fixed, because and I guess, you know, I will apologize, and I do apologize.
Mhm.
And this is something that happened to me this week and happened to me like all my life. Like, it's not all my life, but you know, ever since I've been doing this show. So it's something that I want to get better at and not be so bad at. So that's something that I'm working on.
I would tell you to work on it with the people you care about first.
Start with the people that actually listen and care about what I'm saying.
Yeah, people that know you, so they can actually see that you're trying. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Dabian normally would have called me a stupid bitch in this moment, but he didn't. Look at him.
I don't
Gross.
say bitch.
I'm just kidding. It was
Call them
just
females.
alrighty
No, you can't do that.
then. I'm fucking with you, man.
I got you, K.
Y'all not about to bait me. I'm not doing it.
I call them hoes females. I don't never
Not
say
them
bitch.
hoes females. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
That's funny.
So our icebreaker, we were gonna do an icebreaker, but I think instead of doing an icebreaker, we're gonna give some woman facts. Do we have them or do we not have them? We got them. Thank you, Heather. So we're gonna. So this is a lot of words, man. So
He can't read good.
you want to take a crack at this? So we have this one and this one.
Okay.
Probably
I'm gonna
the
follow
same.
along with my finger underneath.
Hey, sometimes it works better. So here are our woman facts, and this is something for y'all to listen to.
I could have did this one without the words.
Well, say it.
No, I got you. So the first woman we want to recognize for Women's History Month is going to be Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha P. Johnson was a Black transgender woman and activist, most known for her involvement with the Stonewall Inn riots, a 1969 uprising against police brutality by New York City's LGBTQ community. At the time, it was illegal to serve openly LGBTQ people alcohol. For what's wrong?
They couldn't get LGBT.
Yeah.
They couldn't get drunk.
They couldn't serve them alcohol or for them to dance with one another. Raids at bars occurred regularly. In the summer of 1969, police officers clashed with patrons at Manhattan Stonewall Inn, but they fought back, leading to days of demonstrations that kicked off the LGBTQ movement as we know it today. The actual identity of who threw the first brick is still debatable, but some people credit Johnson as the person who may have been the one to do it. Johnson really started it that night, is the quote from David Carter's book. Johnson went on to become a prominent voice in the fight for LGBTQ equality and was an activist during the 1980s AIDS epidemic.
Good job. So she got famous for throwing a brick at him at something.
Basically.
Shit.
Basically. And she's Black.
And she's Black.
Yeah.
who in the bar was watching to see if how you even know somebody was transgender by looking at them?
That's true. Like in 1960.
No, shit has come a long way, bro. They probably still had like 5 o'clock shadow. Makeup isn't the way that it was. It isn't the way that it is now. You know what I mean? So like it was a lot easier to tell if a person was trans.
Niggas had balls back then. They weren't cutting them off back then. That lace front wasn't hidden like it.
That's a fact. That lace front was not hidden like it is today. It was not.
Have y'all ever seen ATL?
Yeah.
No, Atlanta.
The TV show or the movie?
Yeah, the TV show, the prison scenes. Man, that's a man.
Oh yeah.
That he used to knock off.
They were sitting there holding. Yeah.
Man. Nigga, you gay. Now I'm actually talk to her on the outside. Like,
no, nigga, you didn't.
That's funny. I remember. I need to actually catch up on that show. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway,
that's just funny.
So that's our second Black History fact. We have her and Laura Moss, who hit the show twice.
I think we can end it right there with the Black History stuff.
Yeah.
Or Black History, Women's History. Excuse me. It's Black History Year, baby.
Yeah. Women's History.
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. So speaking of transgenders, so two gay guys. One gay guy is speaking to another gay guy in a song. I didn't know where that was going. I didn't. I was really scared, honestly. Yeah. Speaking of watching transgenders dance in the club together, listening to Frank Ocean.
And what's funny is trans people don't normally partner with one another. Yeah, that's interesting. But go ahead.
It's all confusing.
That's the funny thing. I feel like people think like one trans person is looking for another trans person so they can just be trans happy. But that's not normally how that works.
Then they want to.
Nope. Go ahead. Nope. Moving right along.
So back to the question that we asked earlier. What was it? The question of the day. The question of the week. Where was that at? Oh, there you go. So earlier we asked a question. I think it was like Monday or something earlier this week that we asked a question, and it was on Facebook.
We didn't ask, but go ahead.
I asked. I'm sorry.
There you go.
The page.
Thank you.
But believe it or not, I've kind of gotten off. KK has been running the socially responsible Facebook page a lot lately.
You got me fucked up. Don't do that.
You got me fucked up.
Not
do that. I was not running that shit.
The words.
I'll be looking at my tag like, why you tagging me in that question, man?
So what do you think? So the question was, I'm going to say it again for people that are just tuning in. I see we're up to about 6 million right now. So thank y'all for tuning in. We are still out here on the 26th floor out here in downtown San Antonio, Texas. What? Yeah, security. We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Can you ask security to turn the air condition off?
Yeah, can you take care of that security and also leave the gray coupon on the desk out in the front? Thank you. Thank you. So the question, now that you're tuned back in, do you feel awkward about listening to sexual love songs by gay male artists? That was a question for y'all tuning in. Get into it, Tina. What do you think? Or do you? I mean,
it's not even a question for me. It's
you don't think so?
Music is music. I don't see why that would be a problem.
I
think if it is a problem, then there's a deeper rooted problem.
I also think that music is music. And it came up because I was listening to Sam Smith this week a lot.
What you going through, friend?
I was just listening to new music or new, and I went back and found Sam Smith again, and I didn't realize how many hits and great songs he's had.
Oh yeah.
He has. So people do actually care. People that are asking, people do care.
Not a lot.
No, it was an 80-20 split actually.
That's not a split.
80-20.
It's a landslide. What are you talking about?
A split is a split. It could be
80-20. It bothers people like it.
20 people, like
20%.
He asked 10 people. 2 of them said it bothered them.
It wasn't 10. It was like,
I don't know. I'm just
really. It was like 200 people that saw the survey, and 80% said they don't mind listening to sexual gay songs by male artists, and then the other 20% said they don't like it. And then of course I'm pretty sure there are more, because a lot of people won't answer that question honestly. They just didn't answer the question, and or they could have just, you know, because not all the 200 answered, but it was kind of crazy. And I don't think it's an issue. I think good music is good music. And
so is it only sexual songs they sing, or all of their songs?
Well, the ones that and the ones that when they're talking about sex, like
like all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
R&B / I guess
It's
adult
really-
contemporary music. Like all of that shit is about love and sex now.
yeah.
It's very rare that it's about anything else.
A lot of Sam Smith songs are actually about love and breakups and heartbreak. So
Yeah, love.
yeah. But so you don't have a problem with that, right, Kay?
Nah, nigga, how many times I've been in my car and I've been thinking about forever. You're not thinking so far ahead. It's like, nah, that shit don't bother me at all.
This nigga singing the shit out of Frank Ocean.
And you know,
And I know he's doing some hand motions or something over there.
Yeah, I was,
got one of those.
Dog, that is funny.
I'm pretty sure somebody was in the car next to me like, what is that nigga listening to?
The jams. Shit.
Do it.
And that's how I feel is cool. But someone said and made a kind of a valid point. And they said that it's just not their thing. And sometimes when they listen to music, when they listen to music, they think about the artist singing the song and where it's coming from. Me, I don't. I think about how that song makes me feel, not where their motivation was coming from.
Okay.
Which I think would be normal, right? I'm not listening to something that someone else wrote and thinking about who they're fucking when they're talking about it. I'm thinking about,
Right.
I'm gonna fuck the shit out of when it play this song, right?
Trey Songz, baby, mama finna get this work. Not exactly.
But again, some people think about that.
That's weird.
It's I wouldn't say it's weird.
No, it's very weird.
No, that's
say that.
weird.
But that's the same thing. So when you talk about that and not trying to criminalize homosexuality, but more focused on thinking about the motivation of the artists as they write the songs. Do we care when someone talks about selling drugs or murder?
I don't care. Remember, we talked about this when
Yeah.
when Mo3 died.
Yeah.
I don't care if my rapper sold work, if my favorite rapper sold work. I don't care if he shot niggas. I care if this nigga can ride this beat and give me a fire ass hook. I don't care if that nigga lived that shit. That's why these niggas is out here killing each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say it's weird because like in my mind, I think Young Thug is gay, right? That don't mean I'm not gonna listen to him, and that don't mean that's like saying I ain't gonna sell dope because he just rapped. It's weird selling dope because he rapped about selling dope and he gay. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I think it's gay you listen to Young Thug, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Thug can go.
That's what he said.
I'm not a thug fan.
Here we go.
Damien is on it tonight.
I'm easily offended, so I'm gonna shut up.
You didn't get in my vodka.
What did he say?
He said, have I been getting in his vodka?
Yes.
Ooh.
So R. Kelly. Is that where
Fuck
you draw the
him.
line?
Oh, I thought that's what was next. My bad. What
So
happened?
is that where you draw the line? Like we don't care about what artists do. It's just about the music. But then you have people like R. Kelly, who's
Mhm.
a known sex offender.
Mhm.
We have artists that have said the N-word that are not black that have been canceled, and
Fuck all of them.
other artists that have said slander towards the homosexual community.
Mhm.
Is it about the music with them, or is it about their body of work and what their motivation is when they sing it? It's one of those energy conversations. It's just one of those things where, like,
I don't know if that's energy, because what R. Kelly has been accused of and probably did is a fucking like heinous ass act.
murdering and selling drugs to the community isn't a heinous act.
Absolutely, 1000%.
She said,
Kids is where I draw the line, bro. Like that's just some shit. Like it's plenty of drug dealing, murdering ass niggas who's cool in jail.
Mhm.
What are they doing
What are
to
they
the child
doing?
molesters?
yeah, no, I get it. No, I mean, it's a bad crime, but if we say that we don't necessarily care about the man behind the music, it's more about good music, then shouldn't
homosexuality isn't harming children.
Selling drugs is well, again, we're not talking about criminalizing. We're talking about the energy on not caring what they do in one topic as opposed to the other topic. We're not trying to criminalize homosexuality because that we know that's not.
But
criminal.
I mean, but that's
So
what
I don't wanna
happens
put that
when
energy out there.
but when you draw that comparison, that's like
Well, let me
it's
add,
kind of the road that goes down. You know what I mean?
no. So let me add that context to where we're not trying to criminalize homosexuality. We're not trying to say it's a sin, a negligent act. That's not what we're going at. We're just talking about keeping that same energy. Do we do that when it comes to music like that as opposed to Sam?
I can't. I honestly, I don't. I feel like I can't wrap my mind around drawing that comparison. That energy can't be it. Like you can't keep that energy that way.
Yeah,
Like, don't nobody listen to R. Kelly and think
people do.
that song is for a kid. I love this. Like, it's.
I mean, it kind of was.
So-
I've made that joke before.
So we have a
It's-
comment.
What make y'all think his music was for kids? Because, boy,
But that's the point.
I still listen to it. I don't care.
But just like you, KK, I don't think about what his motivation is when he
Right.
makes a song. I'm thinking
Right.
about how the song is like shit. She remind me of my Jeep or that 12 play. Like I'm
Right.
thinking about 12 playing the
Fair
shit
enough.
out of somebody.
Fair enough.
So we have a comment from somebody. Josie says, you can't single out R. Kelly if you don't single out everyone.
And that's like that same energy type conversation, right? And that's what I'm asking. But a lot of people who single out R. Kelly, I get why they do it.
It's just the kids thing, man. Like it literally could be a lot of other things. It's just the kids thing.
But if you keep that same energy about we don't care, so you don't understand how people think about people when they're homosexuals talking about an act that they don't agree upon. You don't understand how they think about the man fucking another man, but you think about R. Kelly and his acts. So you understand that it works.
No, I don't think about R. Kelly and his acts. I'm just not giving someone any streams, money, downloads, or anything else
So killing
after I know that he been out here having sex with underage women.
makes sense. So someone selling drugs to the black community and killing a black community, that's cool. You give him streams.
There's a lot of reasons why people do that shit. That shit's still not okay.
Okay.
But
But
I
you said
just
energy
said, kids is where I
Right.
draw the line.
That's your plumb
Like
line, like,
that's like
Yeah.
Like it's such a thing for me that I can't even see the parallel that you're making by making that comparison. You know what I mean?
No. I see the sensitivity towards that. I
Yeah.
totally get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's kids.
And I'm not trying to say you're right or wrong.
Right.
Again, me being right or wrong is irrelevant.
Right,
It's
right,
how
right,
you
right,
feel.
right.
You're allowed to
Right,
feel
right,
as
right.
you do.
Absolutely.
It's just about, I wonder if people can keep that same energy. Because there's a lot of shitty artists that have done other things. You know what I mean? That should I just don't think I don't think art should ever be canceled. I don't think music, I don't think art should be canceled because it's art.
I think the people can be canceled. And that's where I'm at, like with the R. Kelly situation. If you listen to R. Kelly's music, cool. I'm not really fucking with it because I don't want to give this nigga no downloads or no streams. But I can understand the art from artist conversation. He's a piece of shit. People probably love his music. It's fantastic. I used to love his music. Great. He's a piece of shit. Rick Ross was completely out of line when he made that line about slipping mollies in girls' drinks. Josie, 1000%. Like that shit, not cool.
But there's been worse lines. Like it's one of those things to where it's like it's just a line.
Right.
Like, what's his name? Who was that just made a line about Kobe? Meek Mills.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He made a line about Kobe Bryant dying.
He said he's going down with the chopper like Kobe.
Yeah, that's a fucking bar.
That's
Okay,
No, I wouldn't have said
nah,
that.
bro.
but is that a bar though? That's a good metaphor. I mean, I understand what Kobe is. Is that not a good metaphor? Is that not a good metaphor? He's going down with a chopper like Kobe. No.
No, Damien.
I mean, and again, like I understand what Kobe means to everybody and his wife who got mad about it, but we can't pretend like that's not a fucking bar.
Nigga, it's not a bar.
Really?
Yeah, you out there on that limb by yourself, bro.
I got 1 thumbs up. I got an A-OK. I got 2. So I mean, it's just one of those things. I just don't like.
People don't have respect for shit anymore, bro. Like, I really think that that's what it boils down to. People really don't give a shit about anybody anymore. There's no respect for anything anymore.
But I don't think that line was intended to be a personal threat or attack to
It
Kobe
doesn't
or
fucking
his.
matter. Have some fucking respect. Like, it doesn't matter. Have some respect.
I get it. I get it. But again, you know, I mean,
Do you get it? Because you said, but I'm just playing.
no, I hate when I do
I
that.
know.
You're right.
That's why I said
No,
it.
you're right. You're right.
Ashley says that's just like saying something about someone's dead mama.
That's been done before too.
A lot.
I mean, I don't know
That
if you.
shit trash.
It is disrespectful, but again, it's like my biggest thing is always intent. That's my biggest thing. Like your intent with your words. I think
The
context.
road to hell is paved with good intentions.
But I don't think he had good or bad intentions. I thought he just thought that was a clever ass bar, and he didn't. And I
I'm
still
gonna tell
think
you what he thought. He thought what, like the shit that what happened. He thought that's what it was gonna happen. I'm gonna say this controversial shit, and people
did
are
it
gonna
on
be talking
purpose?
about it, and now they want to hear it.
which is another good marketing move as well.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't disrespect people like that. Like,
We're talking about a whole hip hop genre that was built and made off of disrespecting people in the streets.
I'm gonna disrespect your clothes. I'm gonna disrespect
You think that's
your
right?
shoes. I'm gonna disrespect your girlfriend.
And you
I'm
think
a
that's where it stopped at? You think the
No,
disrespectful?
I'm sure that shit has gone super, super far. Does it make it right? Fuck no. Nigga, I could drive a car down the street with my feet, and just because I don't die, that don't mean it's supposed to happen. That's not what you're supposed to do.
The disrespect is cool to me if the bar is dope. It's again, it's about the music, and I
That's
like.
why Nick, and this is why these fucking rappers is out here killing each other, dog. This is why, because nobody has any fucking respect anymore.
No, I agree. I mean, respect is, but again, I mean, they got mad at Lil Wayne for saying the Emmett Till line.
Yep.
Where's the respect?
But does that mean he doesn't but we can, I don't know. Like, I don't.
It's just
Look.
like, so Rick Ross did that whole put the Molly in her champagne,
Mhm.
took her home. The next line was, I got 100 rounds in my AR. Like, that's cool.
But is that one? Was that one
Right.
dope? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I get it. I get this whole mad at people for their art, but I think it's just get mad at someone for art. Someone draw an ugly picture, don't look at it, don't buy it, don't view it.
It's just entertainment. Motherfuckers, man, wouldn't have.
My philosophy exactly.
Well,
I'm not gonna give you my bread.
Can you imagine them Houston niggas back in the day, like Bushwick and Gangsta Nip, the shit that they were saying in their raps?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be able to. The whole Chucky thing. He was talking about killing kids. I mean, do you remember the Chucky?
Yeah. You pull her arm, I pull her arm. Let's Blade pussy get fucked. Well, he's better off dead. I want to see food, so I fished in a child's head.
Yeah.
Like this nigga was like Chucky was Chuckwick was my guy. Actually, those songs were dope. But I mean, it's just one of those things where I get where people are coming from with this music. But I think, and as we all know, we sit here and we comment and we complain and we talk crap about the cancel culture and how sensified and pussified we are as a culture.
And I have a hot take on it. Please continue your statement. I'm gonna give it to you when I'm done.
And we talk about that, but then we nitpick at stuff that should be more open. And again, it's art. Art should be out there. I mean, think about it. Mein Kampf is still out there selling
art.
You know what I mean? So if you don't like it, then don't view it. Should some art be taken out? Yes, I think books like that should be removed before some of these songs and artists, because what it starts, we know this is we know these music and these songs are entertainment.
That's all storytelling, entertainment storytellers, man. Bushwick got another one, a song called Schizo. It's a video to it. It is the freakiest shit in the world. It's him in a psych ward explaining why he's there, and it's from raping women.
Who?
Bushwick Bill.
Yeah.
The song is crazy. The video is just weird, but the song was dope. I mean, not because he raped women, but I'm just saying it was just a dope song.
Yeah,
The whole concept of the being on a cycle, he was just like shit like that wouldn't able to be played right now.
nah, it
Somebody was
Because we know better now. Like, I know everybody thinks everyone is sensitive as hell. No,
Mhm.
people are being asked to respect shit that they didn't have to respect in the past.
which I think is
So
stupid.
and that pushback, we white people we're white men in that shit. There was a point in time where white people as a whole had to start respecting or acknowledging the fact that black people were actually people, right? So they had to respect some shit that they hadn't had to respect for however many years, right? It's the same shit now. Oh, gay people, y'all don't want us to call y'all fags and dykes all out in the street? You mean I have to respect you? You know what I mean? Like, we're asking people to just be respectful. I'm not asking you to go out of your way. I'm not asking you to do anything extra for me. I'm just asking you not to be a dick. That's it.
But I mean, people are allowed to rally as the KKK, right? Like that's a thing. And I personally think the KKK should be allowed to do what the KKK rallies, not to do what they do, killing, oppressing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they should have their club. They should have a little clubhouse, little
Sure.
treehouse. Like they should be allowed to do that, right?
Right.
As long as they're not physically hurting or harming people, right?
Agreed.
That's their art, so to speak. That's their thing. It's the same thing with other art. Like art should be able to be out there as long as it's not personally like directly harming something.
No, I feel you.
Of course, something's always going to have an intangible to where it's going to, whatever.
Mhm.
But and that's just my take on it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. And I think we're on the same place, but I might, if we're political parties, you're left center and I'm far left.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think we're kind of on the same road. I do feel like people can separate the artist from the art. Is that my type of shit? No.
No, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I believe in cancel culture. None of y'all motherfuckers are paying my bills. It don't fucking matter if I don't listen to your music. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter if I buy your shit. It doesn't. Little old Tina is not making a difference to you, but I feel better about the shit that I stand on by not fucking with that.
So you're gonna scroll right on. Simple as that. Makes sense. So I guess the overall consensus, if there is one, I believe that to me it's not a thing to listening to music by a gay male talking about their partner speaking upon sex or love. I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it should be an issue. But again, I know that it is, and hopefully we can move past that. KK, you don't feel it's an issue either, correct?
No, it's not this shit at all.
And then Tina, also speak for yourself. Is that an issue for you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think
and I guess a lot of people thought it was an issue. So there was actually something that was said on our IG. So someone responded to the question and they said, and after I do this, we're gonna go into our what do you call it? Our call to action. So yeah, Maurice Jackson. I'm gonna get a name.
Oh hell, Reese, what is you talking about?
He said straight people just have to switch their lyrics out like gay people have been having to do forever.
That part.
He said if Frank Ocean says, "Boy, I'm about to suck that dick right off," straight men can say, "Girl, I'm about to click the lights right off." Same number of syllables, and it means the same things. Another example, if Sam Smith sings, "Boy, I'm gonna work these white cheeks till you're tired,"
Jesus Christ,
straight
what?
straight man can sing, "Girl, I'm gonna get the white sheets out of the dryer." Same thing. So just change the lyrics, make it make sense to you, and enjoy the tune. Go ahead, Tina.
I don't even know what the fuck I was about to say. Maurice, what's wrong with you? Oh yeah, so that came from our Instagram, y'all make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. And while you're there, you can find our link tree that's going to lead you to our Facebook and our YouTube channel. And go ahead, while you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe and comment on the videos you see on there. Make sure you subscribe, that way every time we go live, every time we post a new video, you'll know where to find it. You can also download and stream our show. We drop on Tuesdays. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Podbean.
There you go. And Bree, hey 3, she's going to post our link tree. If you can, copy and paste that link tree again, please. We love you. We love your tuning in. We know it's very late this morning. And we know that you're tuning in. So try to go to our YouTube and subscribe on our YouTube and just watch it from our YouTube. If you have any comments about the show, let your friends know you're watching a dope ass podcast and let them know that it is socially responsible and tell them to subscribe, pick comments, let everybody know you love our content because we're learning about these algorithms and we got to possibly start twerking and have Tina on here with some some red bottoms and some booty shorts.
Excuse
I mean,
me.
she already got her thighs out. So
Hello. The sun was out today.
Yeah, so we got to do something like that to get ourselves up on the algorithm. So we're going to have to figure that out. But of course, your comments, your likes, and your subscriptions really help us out. So I do appreciate if y'all can keep on doing that. I see a lot of y'all, you're on right now. If you can hit that like button, share this with your friends, tag people that you think would enjoy our content. And we appreciate it. Also, next week we're gonna do some different things when we have KK back in the seat full effect.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna try to push this through YouTube, and then we're going to have our first part of the show, and then we're gonna log off of the first part, but we're only gonna be continued logged on YouTube. So we're gonna try to make this thing a little bit more professional and business for you guys, so you can get better content. Again, we love your support. We love that y'all are watching. Stay linked in and check us out on YouTube. Again, Brianna, hey 3 is going to post the link tree, copy and paste it, hit the first or the second button that says YouTube, and it goes straight to our page to subscribe. Enjoy these laughs with us. Take this goddamn content. My name is Damien, aka Mavrick the Devil's Advocate.
Hey y'all, it's Tina, aka Tina Cuz.
hey,
What up,
hey, hey.
KK. Oh, I'm sorry, Bree.
You good? Go ahead, KK.
I say, what's up, world? It's your boy KK.
Hey, hey, hey.
And this right here is the B-side, Socially Irresponsible, the podcast, episode 53. This world is crazy. Let's start off with this world. What's going on around the world? We're here in San Antonio. Again, I know we have people listening all over the world. We have Ching Wei. He's out there.
Oh my God.
In Tokyo. Thank you for tuning in.
I think you butchered his name though.
I did. I can't read that.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's a bunch of lines and syllables. We have Ahmad Cypher. I think he's American. He's from somewhere over here, I guess. We have
Bend
Dover. Hey, Ben Dover. He's from Connecticut.
Stupid ass. That's what those names sound like.
We have Hassan
Whiteside.
Ahmed.
All right.
He's overseas.
And that's
in the Middle East.
everybody moving.
So again, thank you also for tuning in, and we appreciate everyone watching. Again, like right now we went down a little bit, so we're at 5.3 million that are watching in.
Not 5.3 million.
Yeah, we went down a little bit. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We're gonna give y'all some shit about this world. We're gonna talk to y'all about things that are going on in the world. We have our 8th day. So our 8th day is when we talk about the 8th day of the week. So we're going to talk about what happened in the first 7 days. We're going to go over, give you some news updates, and you're going to hear our take on it. KK, this one I got from KK was talking about the Nike vice president resigning. What's going on with that, man?
So the VP of Nike got into a little situation and had to resign. Her 19-year-old son has a resale shop. I wish you would have told me. I would have had the story ready. But so basically he was caught buying like shoes that's hard to get with his mom's credit card from Nike. So
Nike was buying their own shoes and he was selling them.
Yeah, and at first I was like, not a big deal. And then I looked at his Instagram. He wasn't buying 2-3 pair of shoes. These was shoes that's hard to get. He was getting them in the hundreds, like hundreds of shoes, and flipping them. Like he was selling some of the shoes at $200 for like $1,200. Like he was making a nice amount of money off of Nike.
I think that's a good side hustle. I appreciate everything he did. I appreciate watching a white crime out there, man.
Okay. The reselling community is the fucking bane of my existence. Like
It's terrible.
you know where I work. Them fucking resellers make it so hard for people to just like go
Get
in
normal
buy,
shoes.
just go in the store and buy the pair of shoes that they want.
Yeah.
Like that shit is ridiculous. I be in there making them so mad because like there's certain rules that you could bend. You know what I'm saying? To like let people go like buy more than, you know what I'm saying? Like my daughter and I are only a half size apart, right? So our shoes will have the same SKU. There are certain rules I could bend to make sure that I could get the shoe with the same SKU because normally you can't buy two of them,
Yeah.
right? I could bend that rule. Am I finna bend it for this nigga that's finna go put these bitches on GOAT? Absolutely the fuck not. Kiss my ass, so what?
Yeah.
Nah,
That
not doing
makes
it.
sense. If they ever drop the Marty McFlys, if I can find them,
You would never be able to get them.
I know that, but I would love the Marty McFlys.
They could
Hey,
drop.
so
They could drop
Hey,
them at the
do you
foot
remember-
at the Foot Locker on Walsham. You would never get them because of the resellers.
Yeah, they're gonna get
do
them
you
real
remember
quick.
about 3 or 4 years ago, it was a big story about a young white kid that found a pair and he said he got them in a storage unit.
No, I didn't.
It was like a big story, man. Like, cause nobody could find the shoes.
The Air Mags.
Yeah, he talking about that his family buy storage units. It's the
Mm.
fucking white kid from the story.
What story?
The VP son.
Oh,
It was him like 3 or 4 years ago that got the Air Mags.
he
So we know
lying.
where he got them from. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's $1 million shoe, man.
If y'all look at this dude, what is this? You know what? I got it. Y'all, if you're on Instagram, go look at
Well, his Instagram had
West Coast streetwear. If y'all, I'm telling you, like
warehouse of
this-
shoes.
they sold. I mean, it's a warehouse full of shoes.
Greg Abbott, he lifted the mask mandate out here in Texas.
Never heard of them. Hot Wheels.
So that's the new thing going on. I think it was Wednesday was when the mandate was lifted. So now everyone could
It
roam
wasn't
Texas.
lifted. It's not lifted until the 10th.
Was it 10th?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's the 10th. So so not this Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Yes. And let me tell you, these motherfuckers couldn't wait to take these masks off, bro. Niggas just all in them all willy-nilly. Like, and we used to have to enforce the mask mandate really like strictly.
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck. You ain't kill yourself, kill yourself.
And
Like,
that's what I said. I mean, I'm glad that they lifted it because now these people will go out there and get sick and kill themselves and we don't have to worry about them.
stop
Who
it.
is these people?
Who's
The anti-maskers.
yeah. Those
Yeah.
guys. Don't let Tina call them out.
Nah, it's a lot of people of color that do that shit too.
No, true shit. But the cool thing about COVID, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think y'all realize how easy it is to drive places at 8 o'clock in the morning and at 7 o'clock. Traffic was nothing when COVID was out, when you have to get up early in the morning. As COVID is dying, I guess COVID went away. And I think it's officially supposed to go away on Wednesday, the 10th, according to Greg Abbott. So now we're gonna have a lot more traffic and people, doing the early morning things.
Yeah, a lot of schools are having to go back to
Yeah.
in-person instruction.
There was a black man who was fired in Lowe's.
Oh my gosh, this poor guy. Like, why did they do him like that? All right, so there's a gentleman in Illinois. His name is
Jenkins.
KK. Close the door.
My bad. I was in the car. I got the heat on. It's cold out here.
So this guy, he got fired in Illinois, right?
Yes, he's in Illinois. He apparently was like a model employee. He was like 4-time cashier of the month. He had gotten a promotion or two. His name is Jawan Young.
Oh yeah, he was black.
So he got fired because his register was 37 cents over where it was supposed to be at the end of the night. So his till was over 37 cents. So he was fired.
He was fired.
Bullshit. I'm sure he's gonna lawyer up. I'm sure there's gonna be
More to it.
some smoke for Lowe's in the coming future.
Well,
Gots to be more careful.
well, remember, Lowe's is the one that supports the Democrats. We'd expect this from Home Depot, but I guess not. Money is money.
Hey man, that don't mean nothing about who that specific manager is that did it. You know what I mean?
I wonder what's the story is behind it, because you know me, I always want to know.
Mr. Y.
Yeah, there's always a why to it, and of course, you let someone tell the story, they're going to tell their side.
Sure.
normally you get fired, they don't fire you for one act. They fire you because they have a case built up, and it's the last thing they got you for.
My thing is, though, if he's being commended and recognized throughout his entire time there, how do you just up and fire somebody?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm
you know
more,
what I mean?
I really don't care about the story because I'm not gonna.
There's something about maybe somebody that's in retail, like I mean, not just you, Tina, but like can explain, because if you notice, like at corner stores, like I don't need that. They still take that shit out and put it on the table or something, like on the counter. Like you can't get over for some reason. Like I don't get that.
Well, they normally don't. They normally don't.
At the end of the night,
money because it fucks up your account.
At the end of the, so you start the day with $200, let's say.
Yeah.
You take money, you take cards and shit, and then when you count everything back up, at the end of the day, your till has to go back to $200. So like it's not gonna add up correctly.
But normally
so you can't put that change in there because it's gonna throw you off. Because it's computerized now. It's not just about the physical cash that's in your drawer. It's about it's about like the transactions you had, how much they were, and then the card shit goes in there too.
But normally when we did that, when I was working retail, the extra cash would go into this thing called petty cash. It was like a little envelope, not envelope, but like a little zip up thing. And that's where you put your overage in. So if you ever are below for some reason, you have a couple of cents to use that for that.
They don't do that shit no more.
Yeah. I mean, again, you should do it. At a register, you need to keep up with your money. And that's very important. I worked at a bank, and that was one thing you did not be over or under. If you're over, you're just as much in trouble as if you're under.
Because you're shorted somebody.
Yeah. So, I mean, and
if I'm over at a bank, I'm just going to put shit in my pocket.
You're fired.
Up.
Hey, you know what's crazy, man? A bank teller, man, did my numbers wrong on my on me cashing my check, and she was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I gave you too much." Man, I was like, "Boy, you lucky you had my ID."
I'd have burnt off.
Nigga, I'd have been had another ID. I'd have closed all my accounts.
I was gonna risk it all. Like, how did you get this from that? And you need some coffee, man. Wake your ass up.
You're stupid, Kay. China is going through some things with their masculinity and their as a culture, and what they want to do is have masculinity classes. I think I'm telling the story right for
I haven't heard about
citizens.
this. My bad.
And that's kind of all I got on that story. I think it's funny because I never really found Chinese men very masculine to begin with. And that's just my workings with them. So if no offense to anyone that is masculine in Chinese, but I know a lot of their women are very, very dominant. A lot of their women, Chinese women, are dominant. So they're going to do some stuff in China to fix that. I think that's just weird. ERCOT, the CEO, he was fired, and several others have resigned. Again, I'm on the fence with this. With the firing happen, there has to be something more to the story that they're not telling, which they probably won't.
Because they were fucking negligent. They were probably negligent, Damien.
I want to know, because I don't think people don't take in account that a natural disaster actually happened.
100%. But I think that part of that.
So something more had to happen.
I think part of ERCOT's duties is making sure that the natural disaster that happened doesn't affect people the way that it did.
But you have to
understand, or to the extent that it did.
When a natural disaster happens, like there's some things you just can't avoid.
No, 100%. But I think there are some things that you can avoid, and that's why Fam was fired and the other people resigned.
Like I said, I want to know more because
there's more that they could have done.
If a tornado would have came through and wiped off equipment and threw stuff off, you're just not going to have power.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what this ice storm did. It literally broke a lot of systems and destroyed a lot of things. Right. So we should have expected some outages, but like you said, maybe not as much.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but it has to be deeper than this. It has to be deeper than just
there's
outages.
Probably more that they could have done, or more that they were asked to do and they didn't do it.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
No, I don't mean about. I think this was like, if it was just this one instance, I don't think they'd resign and get fired. People, it has to be more. It has to be a money trail or a trail of something that has been done to where it's like, we got to get rid of these people before the whistleblowers.
Right.
So it's not, I don't think it has to be deep. We'll never know.
I mean, I think that we're saying the same shit. Like,
yeah.
Maybe over years they were supposed to have some upgraded equipment or something that would have made a difference in this situation, and they just didn't do it, or they did some other shit with the money that they weren't supposed to, type situation.
Yeah. And then for shizzle, my dizzle, she said that 5 people had partly resigned because they didn't even live in Texas. And I heard about that. A couple of them didn't live in Texas, so they resigned. Which I don't know, if you're CEO of a company or if you're a big wig, you living in Texas, I don't think that's a big deal. I think the workers.
What?
Yeah, like if you're a CEO of a company, you can handle business not being in your state. A lot of people do that.
No, understood.
You have people. You hire people to.
More than understood.
Okay.
If you have a headquarters, I'm pretty sure that's where the fuck you're supposed to be.
Well,
the fuck do I know? But I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It is 2021. Yeah, it is 1000%. Remote just became a thing.
Oh, for the big wigs, they've never really lived.
You don't think these niggas is going into the office at all, Damien, to the point where they can live in another state? They
have. That's why they hire people. Like
you got to stop talking to me like I'm dumb. I know what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying.
I mean, I've worked for a company where
flying all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They maybe came into town twice a year.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but when you're a big wig, we're not talking like the manager.
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying.
But so I don't think that's a good reason to make someone resign because you don't live. Like I said, I don't think it's something as petty as that. It has to be.
I mean,
deeper.
It's pretty easy to roll over and go back to bed when your emails going nuts because niggas in Texas is freezing, but you in Cali and you cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but again, I don't think it's something as small as that. Like it has to be some big scandal, some Watergate type stuff that we don't know about.
And the scandal has to do with the shit that they were probably supposed to do to prepare for something like this, and it didn't fucking happen. No matter how long that plan probably was in order to make that shit make people not freeze to death. You know?
Yeah.
They probably fucked that up.
I wish we'll get that information, but that's something
never will. They taking that shit to the grave.
Yeah, as they should. Because I don't know if that was my company, I wouldn't know shit. That's how. Yeah. So Billy Bob and Jorge, they got fired. We're gonna keep
that's crazy.
Jamal. He's gonna stay on. We're gonna just
Ray and him gonna let us know. Don't worry.
Fuck.
I would say like Ray is like janitorial, but that'd be too racist. I don't want to give us the bad jobs. Marvel drops T.I. from Ant-Man 3. You hear about that, Kay?
No.
Yeah, so Marvel has dropped T.I. from Ant-Man 3 because of his sex trafficking allegations, and they don't want no part of it. So
sucks to suck.
And the movie I think was already made. Like I think they dropped. I don't know if they dropped him or dropped his part from the movie. But
I'm not sure. Yeah. I just know that that nigga not finna be in Ant-Man 3 because the second one came out already, right?
Yeah. Ant-Man and Wasp or whatever.
Oh, you think they just edited fam out?
I don't know. I mean, if they could and just reshoot the scenes if they needed to. I know that makes you feel a little bit of satisfaction.
That's unfortunate. Nah, I laugh, but like it sucks for somebody to lose out on money. But you know, you play dumb games and you win dumb prizes.
Yeah. Okay, you still fuck with T.I., right? I know we talked about that at the State of the Union.
You fuck with T.I., you fuck with his music. Remember, we can separate the artist and the art.
I like T.I. I think he just does stupid shit.
What is there to like about T.I.?
What do you think, Kay?
Well, so before this, did you not like him or?
I listened to his music, but what I couldn't say. Yes, I think T.I. the rapper is a cool person, and I want to know about his like I didn't give a shit.
He's always been problematic, but I've always liked him. I like how he talk. He just seemed like a real cool dude to me. Yeah, he just seemed real dope.
But I got a question.
You like the way T.I. talk? My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But I thought he wasn't even coming back for the third one anyway, though.
Nah, apparently he was like in the movie.
He was like in the second one. He had a bigger part. He had a bigger part in the second one. So
I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about. What's the movie called?
Ant-Man, the Marvel movie.
I never heard of that shit.
He don't watch that shit. Remember?
I don't watch it either, but I know about You know,
She follows T.I.
I know the movies that are coming. I know the movies that are coming out.
HBO is to lower streaming plans, basically because people aren't rich right now. But I always thought that HBO Go was freaking expensive for $15.
Go or Max?
Max. They don't have Go no more. I'm sorry. It's just
I
HBO
know.
Max.
Yeah.
$15 is steep.
That's a lot for a streaming service, bro.
Especially for one that
And you don't offer
shows other
sports?
people's movies.
Right? And you don't offer sports? Fuck out of here.
And then of course that kind of brings me into the minimum wage conversation, the increase. Kay, you think that's gonna happen? The minimum wage? You think they're gonna jump that to 15?
Kind of high.
Do you think they should?
I just don't know if they will to go from $7 to $15.
Yeah.
That's more than time and a half.
Yeah, it is.
That's double time. You getting Christmas pay from here on out.
It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. That's something that was definitely left out of the act that just went through the Senate and is about to go back to the House for the vote.
I don't think they should personally.
I think 15 is a big jump, but who am I to tell people what they can make?
I think 15 is a lot, and it's funny because if you raise people's wage from 7.25 or whatnot to $15, what does that do to the people that are making $15 right now?
Right. I hear you,
but think about it.
I also know that like you can't live on minimum wage, so
you have to live differently. But then again, minimum wage has never been the type of job you ever were supposed to get in life.
You're right, but being that there are a lot of people who aren't able to work in the fields that they specialized in pre-COVID, and they got to go and get a bullshit job. It's kind of rough being on minimum wage, fam.
Who the fuck pays $7 though? That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
A lot of places, KK.
You can go, they do, but I mean, you can go to Buc-ee's, which is a very minimal, easy job, and they pay you 10 plus they pay for your college. And they have great benefits. So I mean, there's places you can go, and of course, is there
everybody
Buc-ee's
can
on
go
the
work
corner?
at Buc-ee's. That's what I'm
is
saying.
there Buc-ee's on every corner? No.
That's what that shit isn't even in city limits, bro. Like, it's tough.
Bill Miller's also pays you, I think, 10 something plus to pay for your college.
Local
I mean,
as fuck. Got you.
But I'm pretty sure other cities and other cities have those same type of employment places. And if not, I think that should be an incentive. States officials and city counselors should have people to provide jobs that pay better. I don't think it should be a federal thing, and if it is, it should be $15.
I think that those opportunities have probably been given to these businesses.
They're not doing it,
and they're not fucking doing it. So now I gotta hold your feet to the fire. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what it is.
I think they should just fucking. I think they should just fucking reduce the price of shit. Just leave it at $7.25, and then just let milk be $2 again.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Is like
$1.60.
it's just not a livable wage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? $7.25, cool. Let's lower some rent. You know what I mean? Let's lower some different shit so that people can actually live. It's not about trying to give them a bunch of money. It's about trying to give someone a livable wage. 15 is a big jump. I get it. But again, who am I to tell you what you can make?
I think sometimes you got to put that on, and this is going to be the rudest thing I possibly could say, but I think sometimes you got to put that on the individual that has that job that's making $7.25. Like those jobs are normally set for people that are in high school, stuff like that. And let's be honest, those jobs are not what you grow up to be like, you know what? I aspire to be a burger flipper at McDonald's and things like that. Because a lot of those jobs are for that. No one has an aspiration to be a HEB clerk. So most of those jobs aren't made for someone that is taking care of 3 and 4 kids and things like that. Those jobs are not made for people to do that. That's when you work in those jobs when you're younger, move your way up through management and becoming a manager or become a head cashier, become a shift leader, things like that, to where you're making more. Because I mean, they have managers at Jack in the Box that are making $80,000 a year. So I mean,
nigga, what?
Managers at Jack in the Box make a lot of money.
Like manage one location, make $80,000 a year.
Those places make a lot of money. But again, they're putting in more than 40 hours a week, and they're dealing with a lot of stuff that they're dealing with. But again, places like that, probably 60. But places like that,
Thank you.
60 is dope.
Thank
though.
you.
60 is not bad either in Texas, especially in San Antonio. But that's the thing. I think that should be more of the system. And I think instead of increasing the minimum wage, we should do something more like, make community college cheaper, even free for people. So instead of just giving them better jobs, a better pay for the jobs, let's just educate these workers so they can get their education up. So where they can
for everybody.
School
I
minimum wage isn't for everybody neither. Like that's the thing. You can't want more and do less. Does that make sense, Kay?
You wouldn't. You want more and what?
You can't want more out of life and then just do less.
No,
Yeah, it don't work
I
like
hear
that.
you. I 1000% believe in working. 1,000,000% believe in working. I just can't tell somebody that
they should do better and learn.
No. Shut up. No. That's a pretty classist thing you said too. I just can't tell somebody that their best or what they have deemed their best isn't good enough when there's so much that is wrong with the way that the whole minimum wage situation is set up. Like, how long have we had the minimum wage of $7.25?
Not that long. It was 6 something before that, but this probably been maybe 15, maybe 20 years probably.
Think about how much shit
that-
has changed in 15 to 20
I don't think
years.
it's been that long,
Is it
right?
maybe 10?
Maybe 10 years, yeah.
Even
It
in
hasn't been that
10 years, bro. Let's Google the median rent here in San Antonio 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And then let's look at it now. And remember that minimum wage has not changed.
long. But again, you could also talk about stuff like that, but then you can also talk about people that are paying $1,300 in apartments when houses are $900 to live in. And these are like,
You know
normal
what?
houses.
I just saw a fucking thing about this on Twitter. It was funny. It was like, the bank told me I can't afford a $900 mortgage, so I'm paying $1,300 a month for rent.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's the thing. And also, like when I first got my house, I didn't have good credit. So I went through an organization called NACA who helped me get the house that I'm in right now. And I have my loan with Wells Fargo. So and again, Wells Fargo has done a lot of crappy things when it comes to mortgage lending. So they have to give people in need,
Yes.
So anyway, that's how I got my home.
Mhm.
But there's program.
Most patient motherfucker in the world, nigga. I did that knacking shit. It was too many meetings for me, dog. I don't even want a house no more.
I'm good.
This guy.
But that's what it is. It's
Are they still around?
yeah, they're still around and they're pretty shitty here in Texas, but they're also understaffed. So that's kind of why. And the meeting, it took me almost a year for me to finally get my stuff correct for them to where they're like, okay, but I'm not complaining now. I'm in a pretty good situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's ways to get around it, and if you want more, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you have to work hard and do things you don't want to do to get where you want to get to. But that's also not a bad thing. And then I know a lot of people that I've actually talked to and helped with their financial situation, and they're spending this crap. What's
wrong?
When you said that,
What did he say?
when you said you gotta do some things you don't want to do,
do something
I
strange?
I immediately went to that scene and set it off. I need this money. What was it?
The dude that had
Jada Pinkett.
Jada
the dude?
Pinkett dude.
They say if you want to work for Luther,
Oh my god, that's exactly where my mind went. Like when she had sex with that old man for that money.
Yeah.
That's exactly where my mind went. I
you
hate
want to work for Luther, janitorial service.
it. Hell nah.
I fast forward that scene. And
Yeah,
I
that
fast
shit
forward-
is.
And I fast forward the shower scene after that she had.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I can't.
That's
watch
uncomfortable as fuck.
That. It really is.
That's
It's
funny.
acting, y'all. It ain't real.
Nah,
No, we know, but that shit is disturbing.
KK watch this shit like rewind. Yeah, get him.
Y'all just said,
Ew.
nigga, kill me with that shit. Why the fuck you do that, nigga? That's the road. That's what the road called for, motherfucker.
I told you.
That's what.
That's funny.
I still hate people now from roles that they play. I will never
Yeah.
look at these niggas the same. The first black woman NFL ref that has just happened in 2021. I don't know if we should celebrate that
We should not. I'm
or
so
if we
tired
should
of
be
firsts.
more pissed off that it is 2021 and we still have first black woman anything.
Yeah.
but it
First
is-
black anything.
We had black, even black.
No,
you know,
just first
even-
black anything.
period,
That's
yeah.
nuts.
So yeah, so that's the thing that happened. So I guess congratulations to her nonetheless. She does deserve it. Thank you for whatever the fuck it is you do. But you're there now. Don't
What
fuck
a
up on the calls.
dick.
Don't fuck up on the calls is all I'm worried about. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, the actual boyfriend, not the drug dealer that was her ex, but the boyfriend, he is actually acquitted. All charges have been dropped on him. I don't know if it's called acquitted, but all charges have been dropped on him. So he's 100% scot-free off. I hope he continues that lawsuit and get your coins. Derek Chauvin, he is the one that had his neck on George Floyd.
His knee.
His neck on. I said his neck on. Yeah, he didn't have his neck on. That was kind of they weren't necking. He had his knee on George Floyd's neck, and that case is actually supposed to start Monday, March 8th.
Was he able to get it moved to somewhere else?
I'm not sure, but I know we did talk about that he is being tried individually, and the other three are going to be charged together. So this is going to be interesting. I hope they have this on court TV like they did the OJ trial. This is something that they need to show. And
girl's appeal is coming up too. Amber Geiger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Been 3 years already?
What'd you say?
It's been 3 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, she's been tossed up a little bit in that little prison.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's been tossed up a little bit. It's time to get her ass figure out some things. So that is our 8th day of the week. Of course, that is our stories of our take on what's going on around the world. Thank you, Jorge Sanchez from Puerto Rico, for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. We have also a rewind this week. Our rewind, we were talking about the transgender news, which is the Equality Act that has been passed. Some states have did some things which I thought they should have done to counter the Equality Act. Now, the Equality Act is basically just saying that transgenders cannot be
transgenders,
transgenders,
Yeah.
blacks. I hope the blacks can.
It's wrong now.
Huh?
Transgender is wrong.
It's not wrong, but it's like trans people because they're people, right?
Yeah. Now they are after this act.
They were already people.
The gender just trans though. It's just
They're trans people
So-
because they're people.
they-
It's not necessarily offensive. I just feel like I want to be called a person.
So I'm gonna call woman people,
You can
and we have
no,
men
but
people.
then look, you never have to figure out whether it's a her or a him or a she, or you could just say a trans person.
Is this his conversation when he talks about pronouns? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you'll never have to figure out the pronouns or remember them if you just say trans people or trans person. It's gender neutral. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well,
It's just safe.
okay. I know not to say training. I know that's bad.
Yep, that's not okay.
I know that's bad.
That's definitely not okay.
I know that's bad. I'm learning. I'm figuring this out.
Definitely not.
We're gonna
okay.
put a board right here of what not to say.
I'll need that.
Bad
Make sure
words.
it's in front of me.
It's in front of you.
So trans people,
They're so much nicer.
nicer. Yeah, because that's my goal in life, to be nicer.
It
So-
should be.
So trans people, they have the Equality Act. It basically states that no discrimination against transgender, which was a good thing that has happened, and it was needed, long overdue.
It wasn't just transgender though. You cannot discriminate against anyone for their gender, sexual preference.
Are you eating something?
This candy is really good. And I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's not just transgender people. It's anybody.
Yeah. So that it was a law. That was the Equality Act. Now the state of in Missouri, they dropped legislation to stop transgender reassignment for people under 18. It has nothing to do with equality, but I think as the trans people community, I'm gonna say trans. Now that the trans community,
that's how you say that.
that was a tongue twister. Now the trans people community.
No, it's just the trans community.
Okay. Now the trans community are getting their, I guess, not their right, well, their rights. And they're being adapted into civilization.
They're being considered.
Yeah, they weren't before, which is weird.
Right.
They need to have their own set of laws as well to address that community. One of the ones is that I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I don't like it because it is not allowing them to make a decision on their own. I think we should be allowed to fuck up our lives however we so choose. That is what I think. But I kind of like this one because this legislation that was signed in Missouri, Kansas it is to stop gender reassignment for people under 18. And I think under 18, I think 18. I don't know what age is right, but I think a 12-year-old wanting gender reassignment, I think that's too young.
Fair enough.
I mean, they don't know.
Their body hasn't completely developed either, so
yeah, they don't know. They don't know if they want Cheerios or Frosted Flakes in the morning. And then I don't think that until I'm talking about male trans, until he has had pussy, I don't think he should.
No.
He
No.
should say
No. There are plenty of men who have not decided to transition who still haven't had sex with a woman, sir.
Okay.
They're called platinum gays.
Okay.
What up?
You really can't say you don't like something until you try it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably didn't like it the first time I had it. Yep, this is for me.
No.
This is my speed.
There are men out there who don't even want to brush by a woman. Like
yucky.
Yeah, exactly. Gross.
Yeah.
Like he's sick.
This is disgusting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ewy. So so I like it because again I think it's too young. I.e. Dwayne Wade's daughter. I think that's a situation to where they should hold off on that until they are at an adult age to make that decision on their own, as opposed to having a parent sign waivers and things like that.
Yeah, and that child hasn't done any type of reassignment of any kind, except
where his heart lies. And then also he reassigned where his heart lies because it's not towards women. It's never mind. So
I'm sorry, I missed it. I apologize.
Also Mississippi, they have also passed a ban. So this was a big one. It's a big thing because this is what I guess the straight community or the community that has a thing with the trans community, they're making the whole trans woman playing sports a bigger issue than what it really is, which is something that we've talked about. So to counter that big issue, Mississippi has also signed a bill that's bans transgender women. Trans women. That means they were a man, now they're a woman. From joining and participating in sports on women teams in college and in grade school. So that is something that is not now allowed to happen in Mississippi. Last year 18 states were on board with that. This year it's 25 states. Earlier this year I believe South Dakota, Utah, and Idaho failed on passing the bill.
Go figure.
Like this time last year. Yeah.
South Dakota, Utah, and Idaho. That's like funny. I mean,
a bunch of three of them in all three of those states combined.
I don't think that it's going to be as big of an issue as people think. And I think if those states felt like they had to do that in order to protect them, what can you do? It's give and take. Like, and I think that a lot of people are understanding that about politics right now is that, you get something like the Equality Act passed. But there's people that are going to be, they're going to get the short end of the stick, just like I said last week. And you got to keep that same energy. The states are coming with their own legislation, and some people are going to get the short end of the stick with that too. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Laws are made for the mass majority, not for every individual. Unfortunately, that sucks. But law and legislation will be made to counter. And that's not what federal law. A lot of people get confused with federal and state law. And federal law, it just sets parameters where a state is going to, make shit real.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's a good thing with that one. And I hope that women athletes are protected now with these laws.
I don't think that they needed protection, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we were talking and I think we found out that we're kind of toxic.
You're toxic, sir. I don't know what you're referring to.
That's what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
So
let me back it up and run over your ass again.
So KK, you hear all this stuff about people being toxic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is toxic? And I'm not saying this from someone that's just trying to have the conversation. I don't understand what being toxic really is. Do you understand it or no?
I don't know, but we do use the term a lot though. So
yeah,
I'm trying to think of do I understand it? It don't have to always be like the negative, right? Or is it negative?
I don't know, Tina. Can
Talk
you
to me?
Can you answer him or Bree? What is toxic?
I think toxic in the way that most people use it these days is just something that negatively affects others, be it emotionally, physically, mentally. If it negatively affects another person intentionally, shit, unintentionally, hell, a lot of people are unintentionally toxic.
So then you're not toxic if it's unintentional, if you don't understand.
No, you can still be toxic. You can still be wrong.
But can you be toxic? Because toxic would be I would think
I used wrong and toxic.
But I would think toxic would be more of, and again, I'm trying to figure this out. So just listening to you, I think
if you walk by me and you step on my foot and you hurt my foot, and you step on my shoe and you hurt my foot, whether you meant to do it or you didn't, you still did it.
Yeah.
So if you do some shit that negatively affects someone, whether you meant to do it or not, that shit was probably toxic.
See, I would think that an accidents happen, and I know that analogy is just an analogy, but if you do something without any ill intention, toxic, I think it would be more of an intent. Like, I'm going to do this on purpose to make this person do this. Like, that's a bad trait to have as far as toxic.
Yeah, that's toxic.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you do it and like you don't, like, you're not understanding or don't think it's gonna be bad, or you don't think it, don't want the intention to be so negative or affect the person in the way that it is, I think it's different. I don't think that's toxic. I think it's just I don't know, just not doing what's right.
No.
So, hold tight. Jason, I have a question.
Go ahead.
How can good sex be toxic?
Because it can cloud your judgment.
Yeah, give him that dick.
Oh gosh.
Oh jeez. No, yeah. No, because it can definitely cloud your judgment. You find somebody that give it to you the right way, you'll do all kind of dumb shit, no matter how shitty of a person they are.
Yeah. So Jason said, "Reed, you fuck with E42."
Oh my god. Will y'all please exchange numbers and have this conversation offline?
What did he say?
They over here having a whole conversation.
I think Maria's over there talking like E40 with her slang. Jason about to give you that dizzle, Marie. You better watch out, my nizzle.
Jesus Christ.
But no, so there was a conversation we had, and it was talking about, I guess you call it selling the dream, right? And I'm big on treating people right? No matter who you're fucking with, in a sense, no matter if they're a friend, a lover, a side piece, family member. I believe that you should always treat people with respect, honesty. Of course we all lie, but so when I say honesty, I don't mean like you shouldn't lie. We all lie.
I don't lie.
But be honest about things, I think that goes across the board.
Right.
I think where your relationship changes is allowing different people with different levels of access to you, if that makes any sense. Now, maybe it's playing with words, I guess, in a sense, but I mean, I've had conversations with people, and I don't know if I'm saying it correct, but they're like, well, you don't treat somebody, if it's somebody you just fucking, you ain't got to be, you can lie to them. Who cares fuck what they think? Blase. Yeah.
And that's toxic.
And there's something, I don't think you should lie to anybody.
Agreed.
I think, I think you should at least be honest about a situation or whatever to everybody. But again, I'm not going to give someone that I'm just fucking the same access that I'm giving somebody that I'm married with. I'm gonna give them the same truth in a sense, but I'm not gonna give them that same access. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Bree, will you click on Jason's comments? The last two.
Not the last two.
No, not the last two. The last two that were pertaining to the conversation we're having. Oh, no, friends with benefits isn't. Go ahead, my bad, Bree.
He was asking first, but what if that's the agreement to where? Yeah,
just sex, like just consensual sex between two grown-ups. There's nothing toxic about that. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's honest. That's
yeah. Y'all, friends with benefits is one of the most honest relationships you can have.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just doing this. I might be seeing this other person. I might not be seeing anybody at all, but I think that's one of the most honest conversation or honest relationships that you can have.
If you're doing it right.
If you're doing it right. Correct. So no, there's nothing toxic about friends with benefits. When friends with benefits gets toxic is when it's one-sided. Mm-hmm. So you're my friend with benefits, but I can go do whatever the hell I want to. and I don't keep that same energy for you, or I'm lying to you about what I'm doing. That's
Yeah.
when it becomes a toxic situation.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And again, like I say, I understand levels of honesty. Again, I've always been someone, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've never lied, you know.
I've never lied. No, I'm just kidding.
I've lied, you know, and I'm never saying it when I lied, it was a good reason to lie. At the time I thought it was, I guess. But as far as when it comes to what do you say? What did you say, Brie? Speak on it.
He said, hold on. He said, so a girl saying you got toxic D and friends with benefit dabs, she was catching feelings?
Not necessarily. It might just mean that the sex was good enough that she'll do dumb shit. She'll look the other way while you're doing bullshit or allow you to do whatever.
But then even if you
still have access to her.
But see, I don't think I think she's calling it toxic because it's making her do things that she normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what toxic is you know, making people do shit they normally wouldn't do.
Dumb shit that they normally wouldn't do.
You know what I mean? It's like poisoning them in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, good D is good D. I mean, a lot of women.
I think back in the 80s, y'all called it dickmatized. Is that a thing?
Is that what it is? Yes.
Am I right?
Am I right? Asshole.
I feel like that's what y'all used to call that shit back in the 80s.
She had a stiff turn, you know, like that. But yeah, you know, but it's a thing. I mean, and guys get hooked off of the Twizzot. Can I say, is that what y'all said back in the 80s?
That is exactly what y'all said. That nigga twat. Jesus.
Twizzot. Every time I say that, which I don't say that word a lot, but it reminds me of Martin Lawrence when he was in Boomerang, I think it was.
Yeah, no, Jason, I call Damien old. Now, if you identify with that age group, y'all could both be old together. But I would just call him Damien old.
Jason's older than me.
Damn, you're ancient.
He's about a year. But so that's what
a year.
Old.
Okay, all right.
Older.
Enough. Now, this your homeboy calling you old now.
Yeah. Hey, KK.
What up?
You ever been told you have that toxic D? You feel like you've been toxic? I mean, like way back
in the 80s.
I was pretty yeah, I was toxic.
You was toxic. What do you think you did to made you toxic?
Cause
the tongue got you in trouble, huh?
no.
Nigga shot now.
I was a fucking asshole back then, man. I was terrible, man. Lord. Yeah. Wait, what you saying? Wait.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard you. Hush.
Old ass nigga. You old too.
78.
That's funny.
Yeah, 78. I think I know I've done something toxic, but I'm just not familiar with the whole toxic term.
Yeah.
To actually put
it's
a
really
finger on
being
it.
a fuck nigga is being toxic.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
So what we were talking about, like you said, selling the dream, and you said I sell the dream.
You do sell the dream,
right?
Yeah.
And I don't like I think something as simple as like cooking, as you're talking about. Cooking to me is a necessity, right? If I'm hungry, you're here, we're fucking around. The least I can do is feed you, right? You let me feed you, the least I can do is feed you back. It makes sense to me. So it's like, I'll make you a meal because I got to eat and I got to make me a meal too. So it's like, I feel like that's just normal, genuine courtesy. Like that's the least I can do. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to treat you like you're just some whore off the streets, which I think is rude. But I guess I'm understanding that if that's what it is, that's the energy you should give that situation.
That's not the energy that you don't got to treat anybody like a whore off the street. Whore. You don't have to treat anybody that way, but you also don't have to cook them breakfast. You really could just, hey, had a lovely time with you. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
There's a lot of shit on O'Connor to eat.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good taco spot up the street. Go ahead and holler at them. Like you don't have to
leave the money on the nightstand.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you went out of your way to crack an extra egg. You went out of your way to heat up an extra tortilla for them breakfast tacos. Damien made me breakfast tacos one time, y'all. They was fire.
But is that bad though? Like
It's not bad, but it really just depends on the situation and what your true intentions are for it. If you don't intend for it to go anywhere, I wouldn't do that shit.
But what if you do that and you let them know, like, this is like, I make it like you understand what we are, and that's the thing. With
A lot of people don't do that though.
But that's the thing that Jason said. And even sleepovers, Jay. So he was saying breakfast ? No sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
but that's the thing. Like, so if you're honest about what the situation is, and then sometimes you're doing that, like, hey, you want to eat? I'm about to make me some eggs. You want an extra? Want an egg? I throw another egg on there for how many eggs you want? Or like it's already late.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it is. It's already late though. You just whatever. Just pack a bag, stay over here tonight, and blase. So doing stuff like that is making women, I guess I'm assuming, think that, oh, this nigga wants
consistently. One time, no. 38 times, yes.
But you understand, sometimes not only do I want to fuck you that night, like I want to wake up in the morning and knock you off again.
No, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong
Make
with
you
having
go home
somebody,
and have you come back.
There's nothing wrong with having somebody spend the night. That
Okay.
shit just happens out of convenience sometimes. That's cool.
Okay.
You don't gotta make her an omelet in the morning.
So that's toxic stuff.
Not if you don't want her to think that you actually like her.
Because but like, I've had, not side pieces, but I had women that I've dated, and it wasn't like nothing serious at all. And I've had them spend a night. We've hung out, made breakfast. Mm-hmm. I'm not bringing them to my mama crib or nothing like that. But, we're just hanging out do shit that I do with normal friends. It's the only difference is that we're smashing every now and then. And then it's like, doing something like that, women would be like, oh my gosh, I really like him. And he's this and that. And it's like, bitch, I was just hungry at the same time you were. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
So, you got to read the room. If you feel like doing those things is making her fall in love and that's not where you want her to be, stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like stop doing it. Like if you can see that that's how that's being received, don't sell that dream.
And then I guess
because that dream gonna have your tires flying, your car keyed. You know what I mean? Yeah, that shit not worth it.
And then I guess seeing that is going that way, and then knowing she's liking you, and then continue doing it. That's where it becomes toxic. Mm-hmm. Even if you're like, bitch, this is just a meal. Like this isn't a life.
Yeah. So just like Marie said, doing extra shit is your action. And we all know actions speak louder than words. So what you're doing is allowing them to think it's more than what you think it is.
Why don't motherfuckers listen if I'm saying, bitch, this is just a meal? Or if it's like, and that's the thing. I think
they're getting golden dick and omelets, fool.
But that's the thing.
Golden dick and omelets is the name of the episode. We just gonna have to make some adjustments.
There you go. Golden dick and omelets. So that's the thing. Like even if you tell a woman,
AKA
so to speak,
golden dick and omelets. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It just popped in my head.
That's my new. I'll take that.
Adding it right now.
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting rid of street meat.
Nah. No. Your omelets are for the streets, nigga.
Asshole. So the thing is, if you're doing that, so to speak, and it's like sometimes a woman will like you and you tell them what it is. Just like men have liked women. And women have said, this is not what that is. This is just what it is.
Yeah, they want to turn you into the food nigga.
But then it's like a man is so attached and liking him so much. It's like, I want you. And thinking that her words aren't really what her words are because she actually hangs out with him. Like that always can't be the fault of the person. Like sometimes the other motherfucker just has to listen. You know what I mean?
I agree. But I also think that.
So is that really toxic when you're telling them what it is?
It is because you can end it. You could stop fucking with them.
That pussy good. What you nigga?
That's
just fine. Like y'all be like, that dick is good.
There's a lot of pussy and a lot of dick on this planet. Maybe you got
it. Oh, that's the crazy thing. We all know that, but sometimes you can't go nowhere. That's it.
Bitch, that pussy mine.
Get out to you. You can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I I understand, but I think that like if you're in a situation like that and that person really is not hearing you out when you're telling them, hey, I don't want anything more.
Mhm.
Sometimes you gotta know when enough is enough. You gotta end that shit.
Yeah.
Because that shit gonna blow up in your face. That shit don't end well.
Well, I'm curious.
It doesn't. Right.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Especially, you know, I guess dudes have done some very scandalous things. The woman that they fell for and stuff like that. It's not just a one-sided thing. If anybody on here, let us know your toxic story. I'm kind of curious. Put it in the comments on our YouTube.
Not let us know your toxic story
No,
so
what do
that
you
you
think?
and Damien can bond because Tina is not toxic.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh,
the fuck. But yeah, so I'm curious on what your perception or your idea of toxic is, and if you have any toxic traits, which I guess we all kind of do. But yeah, just let me know, because I don't think anyone is without being toxic and has issues when it comes to that. Brandon said. But yeah, so that's that.
Hey, I'll own mine sometimes.
And as we find out that y'all are toxic or not, we're gonna cancel your ass. So that's something that's also been in the news a lot. What is going on with the sissification of America? We talked about that.
what is the sissification of America?
Like people are so freaking.
Oh, you mean respecting people who weren't respected before? That's crazy.
That's
It doesn't-
exactly what I'm speaking on.
It doesn't cost anything to not be an asshole.
But it costs everything to pretend like everything is about you and is being directed towards you. If that makes any sense.
It doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't take anything away from me for me to just not be an asshole to you.
So
If I don't agree with you, I can just leave you where you are.
Okay, you heard about all the cancellations that have been going on these last couple
Cancel all these months. No, I'm just playing.
months, right?
What's all been canceled?
Huh?
What's all been canceled?
Well, right now, the first thing on the list is Dr. Seuss, Dr. Guest.
Dr. Seuss did not get canceled. 6 of his books were canceled. And when I say canceled, I mean removed.
You got a whole list right now.
I'm eating candy. I'm a little bit sleepy and a little bit hungry. 6 of his books were removed from, I guess, bookstores, Amazon, all that fun stuff. They were removed from his catalog.
Well, they stopped making them. They said they're not going to make them anymore. So if you get them,
Yes.
get them. And then after that, they're not coming out no more.
Because of some racially insensitive
It's
things.
very dumb reasons.
I feel
Have you looked at some of them?
I have not, but if the estate of Dr. Seuss are the people who made this decision and they're trying to get ahead of something that could end up backfiring on them in some kind of way in the future, why wouldn't you do it? And I feel like that's the way that shit is supposed to be done.
On 2 of the books. One of the books is If I Ran the Zoo. There's a part of the book where I guess he's in a zoo, just talking about here in Africa, and it's monkey looking people holding some people up. But this is the thing when it comes to Dr. Seuss, all their characters have the monkey face. The Grinch has a monkey face. So it's one of those things to where you know, and then I guess the monkey has like white eyes, so they're trying to say it looks like a minstrel blackface, and it really doesn't at all, because it looks completely different. So again, they're trying to get ahead of the curve on that one. They have another book, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street, and it has outdated portrayals of Chinese people, and I guess there's a line in there that talks about he saw a man eating food with a stick. And they feel like that may be racist towards Chinese people. And again, like, I think, you know, I don't think that's racist.
They're being safe, Damien.
I get that.
Everybody's not socially irresponsible
already.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're being safe.
And it's just weird. And not only that, so Speedy Gonzalez is also looked at to be canceled pretty soon. And they're saying, and it's funny, like, I think this character, Speedy Gonzalez, is more of giving the Hispanics a character, right? A character that represents, that's for the Hispanic community.
Didn't Speedy used to be drunk?
That accent was extra than the motherfucker. Don't know you think about it.
Didn't Speedy Gonzalez used to be drunk?
And so that's what it said. He always walked up to you and said, "Arriba, arriba," and then you jumped up and he just took off and he just scared people. But that's what it says. It says that Speedy, he was always drunk and lethargic.
He was always drunk, right?
Drunk and lethargic.
Yeah, Speedy
And
Gonzalez.
with a thick Mexican accent.
That accent was thick as hell.
That's
man.
not okay.
But it's not okay. Like, it's just a character. Like, it's just his
I
character.
get it, but what if they had, I don't know,
Are we only portraying Hispanics as hardworking, non-drunk with normal accents? Like, come on, guys.
No, but I'm just saying, like, what if they had us out there? We had a character who ran real fast when he drank Kool-Aid, my nigga. Like, you can't do that.
That'd be dope. I would fuck with it.
And you're irresponsible.
I would fuck with it. Pepe Le Pew. All right.
That nigga was a sexual predator.
He was a predator.
That nigga was a predator, dog.
And he was French, so it makes sense, actually.
He was out there just taking it. My goodness.
So Pepe Le Pew, he's on the line of getting canceled.
Nah, he been canceled.
Mammy Two Shoes. So Mammy Two Shoes was...
Anybody named Mammy should be the fuck out of there. I don't even need to hear it.
She was the black maid in Tom and Jerry, the silent film. The silent
okay.
So she was the one that would always like try to beat up Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here! And you know, very thick black accent, and she was black. And again, because it was a black maid, having a maid that's black is racist. According to them, it's a bad portrayal of black people. Like, we can only be maids. But the thing is, like, we're not only fucking maids. Like, you know, like, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? And
but back then, that's the way that they saw us, bro.
But the cartoon was made back then, so it makes sense. You know, again,
it doesn't mean that it was right.
I watch movies now and they have black maids in it. I'm like, oh, this is horrible portrayal. Like,
you can write wrongs. It's okay.
But like I said, is that really wrong though?
It was wrong back then.
Okay, is that really wrong having a cartoon and the maid is a black person?
No, I don't think so.
Like now we're being picky at this point. Pepe Le Pew,
again,
he
back
was
then. We weren't acknowledged and respected the way that we should have been. I feel like that character is a reflection of that.
The character is a reflection of most of the time when you're in a household and there's a maid, it's going to be a black person, especially in this country, especially at that time. That's a reflection.
I was like, now, no, back then, yes.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it makes sense. But it's like
we also were being lynched. So there's that.
Not when, well, maybe those.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Those Tom and Jerry were quite old.
Yeah.
And then we have Disney Plus, also to stay ahead of the curve. They didn't take off these titles, but they put them on the child's list for people that are 7 years old and younger. They removed them so they can't find them. Dumbo is when they took off.
Why? So
Dumbo, it's not minstrel, but the older Dumbo has a scene where the birds, the crows sing, and they look like they're in blackface. And if you saw the scene, I haven't
watched Dumbo in years.
If you saw the scene, it's definitely a blackface bird. But again, when the old Dumbo was made, they took off Peter Pan. Peter Pan is out of there. So Peter Pan, because they refer to Indians as Redskins.
Okay.
And then, you know, the Lost Boys had the Indian garbs and stuff like that. So that was a misrepresentation of all the Indians.
Native Americans.
So they took Peter Pan off. He's out of there.
Okay.
The Aristocats.
I don't watch them.
That was actually pretty dope. They took that off. I forgot what the reason was for that one. The Jungle Book. They took that off, as well as Pocahontas. Again, the bad representation of Indians.
Why did they take the Jungle Book off? You don't know?
I think that was another bad representation of like native tribes or the indigenous people.
Got it.
And then the Little Mermaid, they took off the fucking Little Mermaid.
They about to remake it anyway.
Exactly.
The cartoon, they did it because Sebastian was a Jamaican crab with a Jamaican accent. Under the sea.
You gotta keep the energy the same, dog. If you're gonna do all that other shit, Sebastian gotta go too.
But what fucking accent does a crab supposed to have? Like, this is the thing.
I don't know.
Like, this is the thing. Like, we're taking off. Like, this is stupid. Like, we're mad that someone wrote a vision of a story, of an idea, and he wrote it from the idea that he has. Nobody really knows all of the Indians and how they looked. No one's gonna sit here and do research. The motherfuckers too. No one is gonna do research and sit here and try to depict a cartoon character as proper and as accurate as you possibly can. It is this person's interpretation of something, of life. Art imitates life.
I feel you. They're also asking us to buy this shit. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they got to be like, oh shit, I can't be out here offending these motherfuckers because they're the ones that are paying my salary. But is it offensive?
A Jamaican crab?
If they're really offended, it's offensive. I said that shit earlier.
So don't watch it. So don't watch it. That's the
But
thing about
that's
it.
what they're afraid of. That's what Disney is afraid of. They're not going to watch their shit.
But there's people that will watch it. That's my thing.
There are, but let's look at the list that you just read off. There are so many different groups that have been offended by this stuff. Who the fuck is going to watch it? You've touched everybody but white people. You know what I mean?
No. And I get
Hispanics,
that.
Black people, Native Americans, like
Chinese.
Asians. Exactly. So it's like they're asking for our money. They have to be safe. And that's what they're doing.
Sorry. But that's the thing. Everything that they do towards us from their interpretation of us is offended, right? Is offensive, right? Why, when we make fun of them, why aren't they offended?
What do you mean?
White chicks. Fucking offensive ass movie about white people, right? So that's the thing. And that's what I hate about thinking and calling everything that we do as fucking offensive, because everything about everybody else when it comes to their stereotypes is offensive. But when we talk about white stereotypes, it's not fucking offensive. They're not offended by that. Like I said earlier, if I'm out there in the store and someone says like, hey, get that black guy. Black guy? Me? Like, don't call me black guy. I'm African American. My name is Damien. Call me by my name. But if you say, go get that white girl, that white blonde head girl. Oh, hey, what's up? So it's like saying a white blonde head girl is not offensive, but calling someone black as their fucking proper description, that's offensive. And that's the thing. I'm not offended by what I look like and what you look at me as. I'm not offended by it. And the simple fact that we're offended by someone calling us black, I think is stupid. That's just my personal thought. Because
who's offended by being called black?
Some people are. I get you probably not.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. Like, don't call me black, And I get it.
Don't call me black.
But that's the thing. Like, but there's no one talking about, but we don't look at calling someone white, blonde hair, blue eyes as offensive.
You know why?
Why?
Because if they're offended enough, that shit's going the fuck away. Because they have the power and the bread to do so.
But that's the thing. We don't look at white stereotypes as offensive. That's not what is viewed overall as a mass. We don't. No one sees that. It's calling someone a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes is not offensive. That's a compliment, if anything. But the thing, I mean, to white people, to white people, they're not gonna look at it as a compliment. So why am I gonna look at a black guy with brown eyes as a fucking offensive? Like, that's my proper description.
Because these things have been, they're pretty extreme, But
you're not gonna offend me by my description anymore. Like, we're not doing that. It's 2021, as you said. We're like, I get what was offensive, but motherfucker, that's who I am, and I'm proud. Like, what is wrong about being proud of who you are? Because that's you.
A lot of people, because of the way that society has kind of warped the way that we think, we don't see beauty in ourselves. And that might be, well, they just need to get over it and they got to think different, but it's not that easy for everybody.
I get it. But at some point, when are we going to understand that the media is bullshit? It's funny because everyone talks about how shitty.
Everyone does not think that way.
But everyone talks about how the media and social media, there's a slant to it. Everyone talks about the media is portraying this, and everyone, a lot of people talk about that, right? About, don't believe the media, and news is a slant. It's all these lies on the news. But yet we sit here and partake in what the media is delivering to us.
We're bombarded by it. Like, subconsciously, that shit is in our heads.
But is it subconscious still? Is it really subconscious still?
Yeah, because even with the line of thinking that you're going by, okay, cool, don't believe the media. I know in my mind, I'm not supposed to believe everything that the media says, but some of that shit is still going to be going around in my head after I take it in.
Like I said, I don't get it. And I understand it exists. So it's not that I don't get it because I don't see it. I don't get how we can still be duped by these people.
We're also the last generation that didn't get everything from the internet. So your frame of mind about that is a little bit different than, let's say, our kids. Everything they see and do, it comes from online. It comes from the internet. They were born into the social media era. We still know what it's like. Well, we lived half our lives without it.
Okay.
So we understand that shit isn't everything. We knew how to go and do different things, how to form opinions, because we weren't constantly bombarded with this shit. But that nigga say he about to go be toxic. But yeah, like this generation right now, they don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to go and get their news from the newspaper or actually know what the fuck is going on in the world. They're just glued to their phone and they get everything off their phone.
And I think to top that, as you're saying, I think also it's irresponsible to a lot of these media outlets that don't report news.
Mhm.
They don't report information.
Yeah.
They report thoughts. They report
Think pieces and shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As opposed to, I'm just going to give you facts and you come up with what you want to think.
Right.
And I think that people should be held accountable for that type of reporting and journalism. I think that's also.
There's a slant to everything though. Like watching I think this past election was like a perfect example. You can go watch Fox News and they're going to say one thing. You can go watch CNN, they're going to say one thing. MSNBC is going to have a different remix to the shit. Like everybody, there's a slant to everything. So I think that'd be a witch hunt, bro.
And again, I think that's a witch hunt that needs to happen because
Yeah.
we've witch hunted lesser things. Eminem is also one of the things.
Who?
that
I'm
do
just
that.
playing. I'm playing.
Slim Shady, that's who.
Never heard of her.
So Eminem, big story. Gen Z,
Is this a big story?
huge. I have a post on our page. No, it's hilarious. So Eminem, Gen Z is looking to cancel Eminem, right? And it's off of
who is still listening besides you?
a lot of people still listen to
I'm just
Eminem.
playing.
Who's not listening besides you? And
A lot of people.
the song that they're looking to cancel him on is the Rihanna song, the "Live Your Life" or whatever. And it's
Live Your Life is
domestic.
not that song.
It's about domestic violence.
I Love the Way You Lie.
Love the Way You Lie. There you go. Eminem fan much?
Rihanna fan.
So the line on that song is when he says, I'll pitch you in the bed and turn the house and burn the house on fire or something like that.
Problematic.
But the thing is, do you understand the purpose of that song, right?
It's to bring light to domestic situations and
simple as that, right? To see the bad situations.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very well written song to educate, like you said, domestic violence.
Sure.
Do you understand? Eminem had this song. It was called "Guilty Conscience." He said a line, something along the lines of, "Check her out. Does it have hair? Fuck that bitch right there on the spot bare until she passes out and she forgets how she got there."
That's disgusting.
That's a line in one of Eminem's
That's why I
songs.
don't listen to this man.
It's called "Guilty Conscience," but it's about making bad decisions.
Mhm.
It's about having that good angel, bad angel. That song, the first verse talks about a dude who doesn't have money and robs a bank, a grocery store.
I've heard the song.
Yeah, and then he has a song. The second verse was about date rape, basically, and then the third verse was about killing someone who you walk in and another dude is fucking your wife, and he kills the person for doing that.
Jeez.
I mean, but it's a great song. In all honesty, this written is really dope. But it's just to tell you what not to do. You know what I mean? All his Slim Shady records are like very offensive, and this is the song that they choose to.
It's because it's mainstream as fuck. They're not digging into this man's discography. They're like, oh, this shit was a hit and he said this bullshit. Get him out of there.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I could name up 1,000 lyrics.
The next time you try to go listen to that song on Apple Music, it's just going to have Rihanna's part. And then I'm going to listen.
But that's the thing. Like there's so much, like, this cancel culture is shitty. And it makes me think, what wouldn't exist now if it came out now as opposed to back then?
A lot of shit.
Like, what good art will we not have? Marilyn Manson, he wouldn't have never
Was
existed.
that good art?
He actually had some dope
Some
shit.
people enjoyed it.
It was crazy shit, but like, I like music no matter what genre it is. If
Yeah.
it's good music, it's good music. All of his shit wasn't good. It was very.
Is Marilyn Manson without the shock value?
I mean, I
Like,
think
does that music stand up alone if he's not doing all the wild shit that he was doing?
but probably not, because his whole, like you said, his whole purpose was that not grunge, but that whole rock, like, rebellious type music. Just like, what's his name? What's that? Howard Stern. Would Howard Stern have ever made it if he was born in 2010?
If he was born in 2010, or
Yeah.
if he was just popping in 2010.
If he was born in 2010, which means in about 2030 is when he'll start doing the radio thing in his 20s. Like, would he have made it? Howard Stern?
There isn't going to be radio. I'm just playing.
I mean, you know, and that's the thing that's crazy. Like it's stupid. Like this is stupid. This is stupid. I want y'all to post or talk about what
I don't think it's stupid for the record.
what Eminem record or song that you think Eminem should be canceled for besides the one that he is canceled.
Okay, I got you. Of all the shit
all the shit he said.
Yeah, I got you.
He has a line where he talks about how he should shoot you like the Columbine kids. Shout out to school.
The kids is where I draw the line.
He said a line. He said, no, he said, I don't care if she's my own mother, I'll still fuck her with no rubber and come inside her and have a son and a daughter at the same time and swear it ain't mine. What's my name?
This the shit you listen to, Damien? Like, for real? This the shit you enjoy?
He was talking about.
That's crazy.
And
I don't give a fuck what he was talking about. That's nasty.
And that was in reference to J-Lo. And he was saying, sorry, Puffy, I don't give a fuck if she was my own mother. I'll still fuck her and come inside of her at the same time and have a son and a daughter and swear that it ain't mine. What's my name? I am Slim Shady. Like, and yeah, talking about how beautiful he thinks Jennifer Lopez is.
Oh, it was a compliment. Thanks so much. Get the fuck out of it. Man, boy, shut your ass up.
There you go. Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Want to copy me and do exactly like I did? Try to sit and get fucked up worse than my life is? My brain dead's weight. I'm trying to figure out which Spice Girl I want to impregnate. Dr. Dre said, nothing, idiot. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement.
Oh.
Feminist women love Eminem. Jigga, 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 Slim Shady. I'm sick of him. Look at him.
But when Meg said, gobble me, swallow me, it was a fucking shitstorm, right?
Not really, because
Cardi B said, hit the dangly thing in the back of her throat. Niggas was up in arms about the shit.
As you're speaking on that, do you know what the song of the year was last year?
WAP.
WAP. So
it should have been. It was a good song.
So obviously that people weren't complaining about that song.
We talked about it on this show at least 3 times.
We did.
I talked about it on another show and another show.
You also sing it.
I sing it all the time. I listen to it in the gym. It's a fantastic piece of music. It's a good. No, it's not even a.
Is that your wake up song?
It's not my wake up song, but I listen to it every day in the gym. No lie. It's on my gym playlist, and I always make sure that I listen to it.
That's her putting them to bed song.
No, it is not. It is not. Nah, but like, I can't say that that's like a great song.
WAP.
But it does the job. You know what I mean?
Definitely does the job.
But yeah, again, people were up in arms about it. But this nigga can talk about the things that you said. I'm not repeating any of that.
Eminem is very problematic. But again, it's Eminem. He made a career. His career is based off of offending people and talking about, you know, offending the gay community. And like that was what his career was groomed off of.
Right.
So it's like they're trying to cancel someone who doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And I'm glad that they did this because I'm hoping that we're going to get some good music from this. Like I'm glad because once you piss Eminem off, that's when he comes out of the woodworks with the greatest shit.
You're really excited.
I'm a big Eminem fan.
I'm aware. You try to make me like him every time I talk to you.
He's a guy that context matters. Like you have to understand what he's trying to say, and if you just take it word for word, you can be like, "Oh, that's offensive."
I'm not a fan of context. We've discussed this. It's probably why I don't like him.
But that's a great compliment to give him. I don't give a fuck if you're my mother. I'll still fuck you with no rubber.
Oh my gosh, my gosh.
Ashley said that he clapped back already, and there's a song.
We're gonna check that out
Send
right
it our
after
way,
this.
Ashley.
No,
please
I'm
post it on our Facebook and just tag us. I'd appreciate it.
Don't tag me.
She's part of us. But yeah, like I said, he's gonna have some great content coming from this about Gen Z, and it's so funny.
I hope it's fire.
I don't think we should go back, and this is kind of how I feel about the cancel culture. I don't think we should go back and cancel stuff that's already made it, because of course the time that it was made, it was different, and it should hold its own right. Simple as that. Now that shit, there's a lot of shit we can't do today. You know, we should do more of education. if you want to talk about cancel culture.
I hate that. I really hate the education like line of thinking when it comes to offending people, because at a certain point, like the transgender conversation now,
Mhm.
this shit is relatively new. People are going to continue to learn. They'll get it. It'll be mostly okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's going to be a few dickheads that say some wild shit, but you know, for the most part, it's going to be cool, right?
Own it.
But with race specifically, and even some of the LGBTQ stuff, because people have been gay for a long time. Stonewall was in 1969.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, gay people been out here, right?
They've been out the closet.
At what point is it have you done enough educating and now you can fucking pop on people? Because it's like, I told you in 1997, stop calling me a faggot, and it's 2021 and you're still doing it.
Exactly. So you have to get pop them for what they're doing now, not for what they've done back then.
No. My point is, at what point do you stop educating? Because that shit is annoying. If nothing else, that shit is annoying because it's just a passive aggressive way for people to get their shit off and talk their shit to you, but mask it like they're not doing it. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but we're saying two different things. I'm not saying educate them now. I'm saying art that has already existed.
Mhm.
Not saying that's not what you're saying.
Tell them why it's fucked up.
You just expanded on it, right? On what my thought. But the art that already existed, you can't cancel it. You're not going to cancel racism. You're not going to cancel song that's been made. We can't go back in our history and cancel stuff that has already happened. That's just not appropriate now. We're not canceling slavery and all the shit happened then. We understand shit is appropriate now.
Right.
So you can't go around here now and doing it, but that shit did happen. These songs and this art, that shit happened, and some of that shit were hits. If you don't like it, don't go back and listen to it. Let's not go back and try to, because if that's the case, we can cancel a whole lot of shit that means more meaningful than any song Eminem ever made, if that's what we really want to do.
Right.
And that's where our direction with the cancel culture should be if we're going to have it. I don't think it should exist. My homeboy Mikey was talking about we need to start a continued culture. Like, let that shit ride in a sense. And again, if there's a sense to where it's like, okay, it's bad, then don't fucking support it and listen to it, just as you decide not to do with your money. Yeah. But you can't sit here and be like, no one should be able to listen to this content. You know, again, if this content is not out there creating psychopaths by the masses.
But a lot of that Eminem shit did create some psychopaths, nigga.
But a lot of that stuff also brought awareness to a lot. Like Stan, one of the greatest songs ever made. Stan, and the concept behind Stan, like that'll go down in history as like one of the greatest songs.
You think so?
Yeah. And it just talks about a crazed fan. And that's something that everybody in the industry goes through. And Eminem expressed it so well.
He's cold. He just be saying
and at the end of that
unrelatable shit from time to time.
And at the end of that song, the dude, his fan literally drove his wife over the cliff with his kids in the and locked in the trunk and killed her and him. So I mean, like, that song is very not problematic, but that shit happens. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm interested.
I sent the song in our text, so
blocked.
Yeah,
Tina will have a chance to check it out.
Afterwards. Yeah, I would play it right now, but we would get shut off so goddamn quick. And all of our 1,000, I guess right now it's what 900,000 people watching. We'll lose this content, so we're not going to do that. But yeah, so that's Eminem and the cancel culture. So let's hope check this tune out when it's over. Speaking of the whole, and also on the slavery, and I don't do a segue. I was going to do a clever segue, but I don't want to. Mississippi, a teacher in Mississippi had an assignment for their students, right? And the assignment was to write a slave letter. Okay. And you don't like this. So yeah, so the assignment was to pretend that you were a slave during the slavery times and write a letter to your parents who live in Africa or back at home somewhere in the States to tell them what is going on your day-to-day. Good assignment, bad assignment. We're writing it. We're not doing it. How do you feel about it?
I'm not fucking with that shit at all.
Why not?
One, we don't teach. And when I say we, I mean teachers. Teachers aren't necessarily teaching the real shit about slavery. Okay. From what I've seen over the last couple of years, it's gotten a little watered down. Even from when we were in school. You know what I mean? Like, shit's gotten a little bit watered down. I've heard a lot of indentured servitude type situations. You know what I mean? So like
Non-paid workers.
Yeah. Interns. Like
Apprentice.
that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that one, we're teaching the real like hard truths about slavery. And if they were, this wouldn't be an assignment because that shit would be wild.
But I think because we're not teaching the hard truths, I think it is a good assignment, in my opinion, to see what we know about it or what the students know about it, to see what they're gathering about what slavery is. Because I'm interested in the assignment only to see what they wrote.
I did this assignment when I lived in Kansas back then. We had to do this during Black History Month.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember what I wrote, but
do you remember what grade you were in about?
Somewhere around 4th, 5th grade.
Okay. So I'd be curious to read that letter of yours and your classmates, just to see what people really understand. Because I think it's important to understand what people think about what they think they know, and then actually also, as Tina said, deliver a message and teach them about what they should know. I think both of those come in handy, but I don't think it's a bad assignment. What would y'all write? I'm curious. What would you write if you were told to write a lesson or write about slavery in those times to your parents or to a friend? What would you write, Tina?
To my parents? Nigga, come get me. Why am I writing y'all? Nigga, come pick me up now. They tripping. They cut my homeboy leg off earlier. All kind of shit is going on.
But I got a question though, because during those times you weren't supposed to know how to read and write. So thinking back on it now, right?
See, they not teaching the shit the way that it was happening.
This letter?
Well, again, it's more just to see your education as to what you know. Again, back then, could you? I mean, I don't know. You probably just drawing pictures like a nigga with one leg hopping around, and then you have a guy saying, you know, I don't know.
Nigga, come get me. I'd have drove my face crying. Nigga, come get me, cuz.
But that's the thing. So I mean, I think it's important. You know, I think knowing, like I said, knowing what people do actually know is just as important. Because of course, if you don't know what people know, you don't know what to teach them. And a lot of ignorant papers would come out, and that would be what would interest me. Like, is this really what you think slavery was like back then, Tommy? Like, is this really like
unpaid internships with room and board included?
And I would have said, that's what you taught me.
Yeah. And that would be good to figure out. And then, okay, well, let's fix this. So I think I was talking to Adrian Rivers, who me and him always go back about shit. And one thing he said is that the education system needs to be demolished and retaught. And I actually agree with him when he says that. And I totally believe that the way they teach our kids and the shit they teach our kids needs to be adjusted a lot. And once that is done, we're going to get a lot of better group of class of people coming, walking down the stages and, you know, being graduated upon. You also said there was something about in Michigan, the Black Lives Matter lessons, or what are you talking about that? Something like there was a teacher who
there's a teacher who
in Michigan.
In Michigan, who is making Black Lives Matter. She had some Black Lives Matter lessons added to the curriculum. I'm assuming for Black History Month because this just happened. But yeah, she got some backlash from parents. She got some backlash from administration, other teachers telling her that she should stop doing the lessons. It's not a part of the curriculum, blah, blah, blah. And because she refused to stop teaching it, and remove it from her curriculum, they kind of forced her to resign. Because
they're bullying her, not bullying her, but they're pressuring her to stop what she was doing, right?
Exactly.
I would be interested again to see what she was teaching, to see what it is that they didn't want her to teach. Now, do I think she should teach them that lesson, like just freestyle it? I don't think so. I think it shouldn't be taught that way. Because again, not saying she's a historian or not saying she's qualified to teach, you know, rogue information, but what was she teaching? How was she teaching it? If that makes any sense. Should it be taught? Yes. definitely it should be. But then I guess I think there's also a way that we should go about making sure it's the right information.
Correct.
Not saying that she was teaching the wrong thing, but we just want to make sure that shit is right and accurate.
Right. And I by no means think that she should have been like a runaway train, just making up her own shit as she went along. But I also don't think she should have been bullied into not doing the shit and forced to resign. Like, that's crazy. That's drastic.
I think they should have told her to stop teaching it, but then they also should have created a board and have her head that board.
Have her head the board, or at least like go through and vet the material that she's teaching and say, hey, look, this shit might be factual, but you can only teach it to this point, and then that's it, and we'll figure out some shit moving forward.
Let's get some books that do it. But I think they should have stopped her from teaching it that year. And then let's get this curriculum added next year, and we'll have you and a group of you guys to head a team with some educators, and we'll get this fixed. Right. But as far as being mad at someone for teaching this information, I think that's crap. And that shows more than it doesn't show. So hopefully she's well. Hopefully she'll get some position. Someone will go out and look out for her. Because of course, during this time, no one needs to be losing jobs, especially someone that's doing God's work like she is. Chad Johnson was also, I was looking at a story on him, and Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco. Now, this isn't a thing for you because you're not over here poking around having kids.
I'm not procreating at all.
Yeah. So he had this thing where he has like 26 kids, I think it is.
No, he doesn't.
It's not. It's like 8 or something. He has a lot of kids. I don't know exactly how many kids, but he has a lot of kids. And his thing is he has kids for the purpose of sports.
Is that really the sole reason he has kids? Or did he just have some slip ups and then
he's not making kids
get intentional a little bit later? You know what I mean? Like 1 through 3 might be accidents, and then the next 5 was
love,
breeding. No, breeding.
Oh, breeding.
Like the first couple was like
So
got lost in the sauce. Shit happens, and then the last 5 were like
that could probably be.
I'm gonna do this on purpose.
That could probably be it. But the simple fact that now he's having kids because of he wants to have super athletes, right? Kind of like the Aryan race when they had Drago, he has a bunch of Dragos out here. Jesus. So he dies. So I think that's dope. I would have never thought about having contractual kids, but I don't see it as a bad thing. And that's kind of my whole spin on it. And I just want to bring it up because I thought it was just neat. No, seriously.
That's neat.
I think it's neat. Like, every athlete wants to have a child that follows their footsteps.
Not necessarily.
At some point. Most athletes. Especially, I could say men athletes. We want our son to play the sport we played and be great at it, right? We want to see our son go out there and succeed in the way we feel we've succeeded and to go beyond our wildest dreams.
You don't think that's a problem?
I don't think it's a problem depending on how you do it. I know where you're going with this, and it could be very toxic, so to speak, and it can be very damaging to said child, right? So
you've already set their path before they've even had an opinion on it.
But I think parents should have have the kids involved in something. Now, whether they stick with it for the rest of their lives is a different conversation.
Right.
But you should have your child set up to be successful in some area from birth and have an idea for them. That shit is always going to change
from birth.
Yes. From birth. Like, most parents are reading to their kids in the womb. Most kids are educated.
That's just parenting to me, but I got you.
Which is not as common as you think. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But your parenting is all doing to set your child up for success, right? So you should always do things. Now, again, of course, along the lines of raising your child, things are going to change. Monkey wrenches, you're going to figure some stuff out. They don't like this, blase, right? Shit like that's going to happen. So your parenting, level of parenting or your direction will change and be adjusted, or it should. When it's not adjusted, that's when the conversation becomes kind of like, now you're just forcing this upon the kid. Like those pageant kids, probably the worst parents in the world when you have those pageant kids. Not all of them, but some of them are pretty crappy,
Yeah, they're shitty.
Yeah, they're shitty.
My daughter is a pageant kid. But I don't know. I feel like them quarterback dads is probably worse.
No. I mean, I think they're equally bad,
Yeah.
it's no one's competing to see who's the worst, but I think they're equally bad. But there's some kids that actually like that, and I also don't think driving and pushing a kid to greatness is also bad. I think that's what's wrong with some kids, that people don't push kids as much as they should. They let kids quit. They let kids be, this and that. Like, pushing kids is not, hey, you need, if you want to be great, go out there and work hard. If you want to be great, go out there and work that extra hour. If you want to be great, get up and cut that goddamn grass and make that extra money on the side. Teach the kid to hustle. Teach the kid hard work. You're never too young to be taught hard work and responsibility, but you are too old. There's a time where you're too old to just be figuring out responsibility and hard work. Mm-hmm. So again, there's always that fine line, but you're never too young to be great, in my opinion. Now again, that's a fine line. You want to push your kid, but you don't want to force your kid. You want to show them what you have to do to succeed, but you don't want to beat it over the head and be like, nigga, get your, you know what I mean?
Right.
But again, I mean, greatness is never a bad thing. I mean, shit, look what Joe did to Mike and them. He beat them into millionaires, billionaires, the best artists and vocalists ever, Michael and Janet.
Moving around.
He beat some success in their ass.
He also beat trauma into them. So there's that part.
Hey, you gotta take the bitter with the
Money
sweet.
is in
man.
everything.
No.
Gotta take the bitter with the sweet.
No, you don't.
Because of Joe, Michael Jackson will be remembered for the rest of everybody's life. My kids will listen to Michael Jackson because of Joe. Thank you, Joe.
I don't have the time to go back and forth with you, but because of Joe, Mike did some weird shit, dog. Like a lot of weird shit. I don't even know how else to describe it. And I'm not talking about that shit with them kids neither. I'm just talking about that nigga being weird, cause yeah, that nigga dangled his baby over the balcony. Like, what the fuck?
We never talk about that. The simple fact that he named his baby Blanket.
And I'm supposed to tell Joe thank you. The nigga name is Blanket. Moving right along.
The B part is gonna be thank you, Joe. that's what the segment is called.
No,
thanks, Joe. I'm gonna end it with this, and this is a personal, like the Chad Johnson conversation.
You can talk about wigs? No,
that's what it is. Men and wigs.
No. Let's do the irresponsible years.
You think we do the irresponsible yours?
Yeah, let's end it like that.
Okay. Bree, you have the irresponsible yours for us this week that we were supposed to do last week. I guess we leave the men in wigs.
Yeah, we can talk about them bald-headed bitches later.
This guy.
I'm tired.
I should throw this shit on as the whatchamacallit.
What?
As the question for the week.
Oh yeah.
How people feel about bald-headed men.
Bald-headed hoes.
Go ahead, Bree.
Okay. Dear socially irresponsible.
Look at my thighs. My bad.
Ooh.
Hello.
I have been dating this guy for a couple of months and things have been great, except for one thing. He still talks to his ex-girlfriend often. He's been very open about it and says that he does not have any feelings for her anymore. But I don't see a need to communicate with any of my exes. I trust him, but from my experience, this is not the norm. What do you think? Do you think it's possible to stay platonic friends with an ex? Sincerely, a heathen.
I don't necessarily think that I'm the right person to answer this question. I have only had amicable breakups for the most part. Like, let's say ballpark, I've been in 10 relationships. I've probably only had 2 bad breakups.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm cool with the vast majority of my exes. We still text. Like one of my exes was about to have a baby. Matter of fact, she was on here. She had commented at some point. But yeah, like ex from a long time ago. I've been checking on her for like the last 2 weeks because she used to do like, hey, have you had the baby yet? Are you good? How's it going? Type shit. Like, yeah, like.
So for you, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. If I had a partner who spoke to their ex often, I got to keep that same energy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if I had any question about what they had going on, then I know that that is not the situation for me.
Yeah. And I think I would say the same thing as you. I think that I don't mind people talking to their ex. And the reason why, like I talked to some of my exes still, right? And you know, I've had relationships with people that I've known for freaking 10 years. And they know me and they know shit about me that is like really big. And they're a part of my life at a time that I really needed them.
Right.
And it's something that is hard to let go. And I don't think just because our relationship didn't work out, I need to lose that part of my life with you.
Yeah. I don't have to hate you. You don't have to hate people to break up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just sometimes shit just didn't work out. Now, of course, there's also a level of respect you need to have with that situation and the one that you're with now. And if that line of respect is crossed, which it happens more than not, I'd say. But if that line is crossed, then that's more of a you thing and not you talking to your ex thing. It's more of just you're just that shitty person.
Yeah. Because you allowed them to disrespect your relationship.
Or you just disrespected your relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. Y'all did that shit together. Yeah. 100%.
So I think that, you know, it shouldn't be a fine line. And it's more dependent on the person that you're with as opposed to the question. And like Tina said, I think if you can't handle it, then that's just not the situation for you. And if you stay in it, you choose whatever comes out of it. And you can't complain and bitch about it because you chose X, Y, and Z.
Right. If they have clear set boundaries, then there shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. Unless there's a conversation, rules have changed based off offset conversation. Once you change those rules, you can't go back and be like, oh, well, I don't think it's a good thing. What do you think, Bree? No? Yes?
I'm cool with most of my exes, so I think it's cool with me.
Yeah.
But again, as long as boundaries aren't crossed, then you know.
And I also, you know, I've also been in situations where I went back and fucked my ex. So I mean, and I'm pretty sure most people have. I mean, you know,
speak for yourself.
And I know I've had situations like that, so I can understand why it would look bad and it wouldn't be a good situation for anybody. Because again, you have that history, you have that bond, and like I was saying, I've been through so many years with this person. You know me,
right? And
there's vulnerable times that we all have, and it could lead to some.
But
other
you know,
things.
that might be the ex that you got to keep at a distance. no, for real. Like everybody has a shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah,
everybody has one of those. That's not the one you need to keep. You need to keep tabs on. Like, cool, I don't hate you when I see you. It's what's up. Congratulations when I see you got a promotion at work. Happy birthday on Facebook. But yeah, nah, that's not the one that you can keep in constant contact with. And
I guess we'd be stupid to know that to believe that we don't know who that person is. Like, we know who that one is.
Right. That's why I didn't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's true, but yeah, I think that that's what I feel. I feel the same way. Damn, but sometimes going back and sucking that pussy is just.
All right.
No, can't say that.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, I don't know how it is for y'all recycling dick. Well, just you, because this motherfucker over here. But
yeah, I'm not recycling no dick.
Yeah, but
I threw it in the trash the first time.
Stay in there.
Stay in there.
But I know sometimes recycling that pussy is a whole good ball game. Sometimes I wish we could recycle a pussy and just leave the person there.
Huh. Fair enough.
Fair enough. What you got for us, Bree, as we sign off? What do you have as our outro?
Don't recycle exes.
That's it. No, I agree.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I agree. I think that people are an ex for a reason, and that's kind of where they need to stay. We all hope for the better, but knowing when you get back, it's all happy, and then all of a sudden you realize that's why I left this raggedy ass nigga.
Do you feel that if you dated at a time in your life when you were, let's say, in your early 20s?
I'm better now than I was then. I can tell you that.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Do you think you could recycle that?
Not really, because most people inherit they are who they are, right? And sometimes people just don't work out. Mm-hmm. It'd be different if it didn't work out because I wasn't ready and that was the issue. But if it comes to a personality conflict or things like that, or something deeper than that, like, nah, nigga, like, I can't go back and deal with this drama. And there's a, you know, so could I can't just say no to answer your question. But as a rule of thumb, when it comes to exes, as much as I like to contradict myself in different situations, my rule of thumb would be don't ever go back to your ex. There's always exceptions, but my rule of thumb would be an ex is an ex for a reason.
Yeah, I've done it. It might not have worked out the way that I wanted it
How'd
to
that work out for you?
but it was definitely the biggest and most influential relationship that I've had in my life. So I could never say that it was the wrong decision.
Yeah, see, and that's the good way to look at it. I don't think any decision, again, touch base on what you're saying, I don't think any decision is a bad decision. I think it's a lesson learned and it's an experience. And if people date people and be like, I don't want to waste my time dating you, then you shouldn't be dating, because all the time you spend on this earth should be an experience, not a waste of time, because it doesn't come out the way you want it to. And I hate when people say, I hate when people say to waste time shit.
I think relationships can be a waste of time sometimes, though.
I mean,
that's a question. That's another question for this week.
Yeah, we'll add that. We'll actually have a topic. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave us with?
Gobble me, swallow me. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
I want to send a big FU to the sneakers app. That shit is a scam, and I'm upset about it because I wanted them ones today.
Damn sneakerhead. Not
for real. There's only a few shoes that I like collect.
I know you like the ones. I found some ones at Ross for you, man. I should have got those for you.
I'm sick of you. No. Sneakers is a scam. Nah, let's not be assholes, you know. It doesn't take much to just ignore somebody if you don't fuck with them. It's that easy. Let's be unbothered out here. If I don't agree with you, I can just like not be bothered by the shit that you do. As long as that shit not affecting me, I'm cool.
#unbothered.
#unbothered.
I think my outro would be I just had it on the tip of my tongue too.
That's what she said. I'm a child. I'm really sorry, and I apologize for that joke.
Fuck with me, you know she didn't say that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that
stop giving men vagina if they know. Now just playing. I'm done. Go ahead.
Why are you stopping giving us vagina?
If they're making you
if what?
What'd you say?
If what, Bree?
You gotta say it. Come on, Bree.
If they're making you omelets.
Yeah.
What is it? What
if
is
they're
the name of the
making
show?
you omelets, but they not giving you no top. What happened?
I gotta go back and remember what you said.
Golden Dick and Omelets.
Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
I thought it was fuck something.
No, it's Golden Dick and Omelets.
Golden Dick and Omelets. Okay. I feel that my outro is gonna be something simple, man. This cancel culture is starting to get too much. We're gonna have no art, no music, no movies. Coming to America 2 that just came out. I heard some bad reviews on it. I haven't seen it. I'm planning on probably watching it tonight. The crazy thing about Coming to America 2 is that Coming to America, the first one was made this year. It wouldn't have been the exact same movie because a lot of things in that movie probably would have been. You have a dude from African guy that was not African, who's from this fake fictitious place and had all these African garbs and you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure none of that would have made the movie. Telling a girl
bark like a dog.
I was gonna say telling a girl to bark like a dog.
Now that part,
a big dog. And that was hilarious.
That bitch still barking in part 2 too.
So I mean, like there's a bunch of things that probably would not have made it. And we would have missed a very good piece of work because of us trying to go back and cancel shit.
I don't agree. They did the same thing in Black Panther.
What do you mean?
They wore African garbs. All those actors aren't African or aren't from countries in Africa. Like,
but the thing
they
about
had African accents. They wore the African garbs. Like,
but the thing about Disney, they do their research. So that's going to be the difference between Coming to America comedy, and I used to work at Walt Disney World. I'm not gonna go into a big tangent, but when I worked at Animal Kingdom, they literally went to Africa and designed the whole park off of the Serengeti Desert, I believe it was.
I believe you for sure, but I think that if it might have been done better, but I don't think that shit would have been left out.
I mean, I hope it. Let's just say I hope it wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I hope it wouldn't.
It'd have been more accurate, I think.
And with the things that we're doing now, we're making it hard to have good art out there, for fear of it being canceled. Again, that Kobe Bryant line, bar. But you know, stuff like that. Again, you know, we need to watch our asses on that. And then again, this cancel culture. I'm gonna not coin this. I'm gonna say this off of a close friend of mine, Mikey Heron, and he said we need to start bringing back the continue culture and not the cancel culture. And I actually believe that. I don't think we should cancel stuff. Either just scroll through or enjoy it as for what it is, and then let it go. And that's the beauty of free will, and that's the beauty of free market and free enterprise. You have the ability to check shit out if you want to. You have the ability to not check it out.
Who? Never heard of her.
You have the ability.
That's your slogan.
What that is?
That's for continue culture. So we just not gonna fuck with the shit we don't like, right?
There you go.
We gonna leave everybody else alone.
So
if I don't like it, who?
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. Keep it going. Hashtag continue culture. So that's what it is. The website again is something that's been problematic. Not because it's been problematic and it sucks, just because we haven't really took pictures for it yet. So we're gonna work on a lot of new things. We're gonna be more of a business like to you guys. We're gonna get some Patreon stuff going down. We're gonna get better with these videos. And we're gonna do a lot of other things. And I just want to keep giving y'all updates. I want to keep giving y'all updates on where we're at and what we're doing, because I love that y'all rock with us, and I love that y'all join us at these hours of the night. Y'all are fucking family to us. And I hope that, you know, we are family to y'all and that y'all enjoy us. And now it's our time to give back to you guys, not with this dope ass content that we give you, but also with some merch and with just ourselves. So we're going to give y'all more access to us. And that is going to be coming up pretty soon. And I guess that's it. That's all I got to say.
What you got, Bree?
Anybody else? Any goodbyes?
Oh, you went, right?
Yeah, she went. Anybody else want to say love yous, goodbyes, sonnets? Fuck it, man. We're out. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're out. Peace.